Welcome in, welcome in. I'm trying to get things set up in the background because it is just taking forever. It always does. So, that. And that. Yeah, it is pretty crazy that we're almost to the solstice. No, I was back yesterday. YouTube kept shutting down my live though. They cut it out halfway of my lives twice yesterday. So YouTube is officially not supportive of anything that I do. They took my paycheck from thousands of like $1,000 a month to $200 a month, and I don't even get my full payment for the 200 that I even get when it comes in. So YouTube is completely sabotaging me in that regard. Unfortunately, and the other platforms that I post to also just don't fucking give a fuck about promoting my content either. Everyone would rather just be lied to at this point, which is unfortunate because we're in the age of Aquarius where we're supposed to be learning, but more people are being fooled by the lies of technology. Oh my god, no one cares about you. Go away. You just speaking out your ass because you upset at your own life. Go somewhere. Bye-bye. Jesus can go save you because apparently you need it more than me. Jesus needs to save those who feel compelled to scream that shit in chat because you're the one that needs to repent, unfortunately. You're the one that Jesus warned about being fake. You're the one that Jesus warned us about who would come in his name and not be of his light. So unfortunately, get out of here, devil, because I don't fool with that shit. We don't play that game. Well, I'm only doing donation-based card pulls because I've been doing too much free service and I need to start getting actually reciprocation for like what I do. YouTube obviously isn't going to be doing that, so I have to start telling people to donate. But yeah, that's why I'm pushing hard on like the donations and stuff, because obviously every platform that I'm on doesn't work. I've had a lot of people email me and lie to me about helping me and funding me and that shit. It's been like months and years for some of those people, and it's very unfortunate, but that's what I go through behind the scenes, is a lot of false hope when it comes to finances, when it comes to being stable. So I'm giving up on the whole, doing free things and just upfront asking people for the payment first, because I'm not dealing with it anymore. Especially for like all that I do. I can't be doing that no more. And the only ways to donate are through the through the PayPal, the Cash App, the Venmo, and the Chime, because YouTube just takes huge chunks out of donations anyway, and I'd rather have the funds to where it's actually going to support me now, and not wait till like the end of the month, because they don't let you pull out any money in advance at all. Yeah, it's just whatever. I know that the people that end up doing that shit and have stuff happening to them. That my guides don't fuck around with people like that. Unfortunately. So, it's whatever. But it is something that, I'm going to continuously address and put force on. It is not something I need to be ashamed of. This is what I do. This is my purpose. This is what I, have been called to do, and it is a right to be funded by this as well. Like I've got 0 commissions for all the things that I do, and it's just agitating, I guess is the word to use, to see people go to those who would rather lie to them and fill them with bluff and false hope than to just get the actual straight ahead answer. The world is just not ready for the truth for the most part. Despite them craving it desperately, they're not ready for it. They still need to be lied to and coddled and blinded for a minute. They're not ready to let go of the facade. Yeah, the donation's always in the pin. That's the thing. Even when I do the free readings, donations are always in the pin. No one does it. That's the thing. Like it's just that it's only a select few people, and it's repeat people that end up doing it. No one else really comes in and does that. Welcome in, Cassie. How we doing? How we feeling? You know, so it's not that the information's not there. It's just that there are people who like, you know, all that stuff. And I have the correct email and stuff too. It's just people end up typing my information in wrong as well. Like everything I have is correct. It's just on when it hits the other person, it's the other errors that come through. And yeah, everything on here is correct. People just end up typing my stuff in wrong. People end up thinking that my Cash App is Stumpy, and it's not. It's StumpX3. The other one is Stumpy, but all the information is correct. The email guardian333angel@gmail.com is also correct. People just do not contact me. People say I'm interested in your services and I'll check out your site, and they just don't, and they don't contact me at all. Unfortunately, it's just a bunch of people lying to me. So I'm putting my foot on the gas pedal, and just being like, if you're not gonna, you know, if I'm not gonna get compensated in a sense that is, you know, helpful, I'm not really gonna be doing much work, which is why I'm gonna be quiet on streams a lot more, because I'm not gonna overgive. If there's not any presence of like any activity, it's just gonna be silent on my end, because there's no need for me to fill in that space. If there's nothing else that's gonna reverberate back in that sense. It is, and I'm, you know, with all that I do, with all that I've talked about, with all that I've shared, not only just about tarot cards, but over everything that I've talked about on this channel, from all the classes and everything, it's abysmal to see it not get like reciprocated in that sense. And thank you for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. And that's the thing. I don't even care how much people donate. I'm not asking for like a bajillion dollars, dude. Like $1 would be enough of a donation, right? That's like the grand scheme of things. Like I don't care about the amount. It's just about seeing my efforts actually pay off in a sense, without fucking my stream. You know what I mean? It's just so much bullshit happens over here on the streams. Like the stream got took down twice. It was still recording on my phone, but it went black for everyone else. Like they blacked out everything for me twice because I was just talking about stuff. And it's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, I know you're teasing me on the email. It's all good. I just gotta stick to it and be real with it, you know. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, and I move past the fear and the burden of asking for like compensation, because I used to be afraid to do that. I'm not gonna lie, I used to be afraid to, because it's like, oh, I shouldn't have to do this. I already have this running for me, and this should be enough. And it's not, and it's not gonna be enough, unfortunately, because the fucking platform is against everything that I do. So I gotta be more vocal about it. And though it might get annoying, it's, you know, it's important to me, not only for my own like mental sake, but as well to help others know that it's okay to do that. It's okay to like put that pressure on, because it's not just you. You know, there's help out there, and people can and will help. So, you know, I don't know. I don't do things solely just for myself a lot, which is an issue as well. That's why I've been on the break as well. so I can do things for myself and just relax. But I always try to, you know, learn something, to bring something back, no matter what it is. And I do my best to prove that, like, time and time. I don't even need to really prove it. It's just a known fact at this point. People know, like, what they're gonna get when they come to me. It's not like mixed up or jumbled. It's not gonna be like, oh, you know, one thing one day and another the other. It's gonna be straight and firm. But yeah, I was like spreading myself thin doing the free stuff, and it was fun at first. It very much was like a thing I needed to do at first, but then it became like bad. It became kind of toxic. Yeah, YouTube is basically pointless unless you don't have a unless my methods of payment aren't available for you. You know, that's perfectly fine. But if you can, definitely, like, the Pime, the PayPal, the Venmo, the Cash App, and the Chime are the best payment methods. And no worries. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Nicole. I truly do. What you sent was truly is gonna help. The amount, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that the energy of that coming in is gonna help. It's just the fact of, you know, the effort being made. So don't worry about the amount. I truly appreciate it no matter what. It truly will help and go a long way. My sleeping has been fine, but my eating has been awful. I'm not gonna lie. I've stretched. I'm not gonna be able to do it today because I'm streaming right now, unfortunately. But I've been stretching like the breakfast down at the lobby all day from like 7 p.m. all the way, 7 a.m. to all the way to like 6 to 7 p.m. I've been doing that for like the past 3 days because I just don't have any money at all when it comes down to it. It's really weird how this is kind of like forming and being. And there's things, you know, changing and moving and growing on the outside, like, that are coming in. It's just like the I don't know. But yeah, YouTube takes some of the money. It's not even funny, dude. They like, I used to think that Twitch revenue stuff was bad, but they fixed their stuff. And if I could stream on Twitch, I would, but like, I don't want to have to go through the whole affiliation program thing again. I'd have to like remember my old login password and stuff and change a bunch of information to get it correct. But YouTube's monetization system sucks ass. Especially for streaming, dude. You don't get any monetization for live viewers at all. You get monetized for the viewers you get after it uploads as a video. That's dog shit. If you ask me, like, what? I'm putting time on this platform and I don't get paid for it till after. That's bizarre. But I have to upload and stream because my laptop cannot handle video creation. It can't even handle those shorts that I make. The reason why I had to stop those shorts is because my laptop was freaking out. Like, it was about to bust and explode. It was making loud, like, whirring noises and everything. Like, I can't work on the things that I need to work on because of shit. And it's been something I've been vocal about, but it's like, it's weird as fuck. Like, I just need to get better equipment and shit. But it's just wild. What type do you recommend for the equipment? Oh, I just need something better than like this, dude. There was a laptop, because I bought this laptop for $800 on Amazon, and then I found a laptop for $899 that's 10 times better than this shit. And it has like an i7 processor in it. It's like it will be good enough for me to like not only work on like my music projects but also just do tarot and like be able to stream on the laptop and stuff. It's like it's bizarre. And I'm not in a position to where I can have like a computer because I have a PC, but it's at my friend's house. I don't have, this is not a very stable position where I'm at. You know what I mean? So I can't just get my laptop, my PC and lug it everywhere. I won't have room to carry it. My suitcase is full, my backpack is full, like I don't have any room for it. And I have the essentials of like what I need, like clothes and the books that I have and things that I like kind of needed to keep while moving forward. So it's like, it's fucking bizarre. But I've had people offer to like, you know, ship laptops and stuff, and I've said sure, but it's never got like a follow-up from those people. It's just been a bunch of false promises from a lot of people, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't know if it's because of like interception with like the emails or whatever or what, because that's happened a lot before with me, but it's just agitating. Like, even Venmo does it to me for some reason. Venmo will be like, you need to verify your phone number, and I don't have a phone number connected to my Venmo, so I don't really know what it talks about. But you can like select don't confirm on it. It's just weird. But yeah, I wouldn't say teeth are clenched. I'm just like tired of it, dude. Like, it's not even that the agitation is like active, it's like a passive thing. I've just released the care of like holding on to that burden, and it's more of just like I'm just gonna start expressing it because I hate this platform. This platform does not like me, obviously. So it does not bother me a bit to fucking trash talk this place. Unfortunately. It is not good. Like, YouTube is like cool if you're gonna be within like the general public ways of things, but like if you aren't, good luck. This platform is not gonna help you. Instagram won't help you because their algorithms changes per person. Every different account that you have is gonna have a different algorithm assigned to it based off of a fucking code that you get. Your account number is basically your algorithm code that you're gonna get. And it's all about learning how your algorithm works to like buff that, which is hard, and you have to have Meta to even really get a solid hold on that, and you gotta pay for that, which is weird. And then TikTok is just TikTok, and it's a cesspool, and I'm okay because I post on there, but like not many people get the gist. They're not caught up, and they're still using words and terms that like are bizarre to use in this day and age. And yeah, I'm keeping my head up about it. It's something that, you know, it is like an issue, but it's not something that's stopping me, and it's not something that's like making me work out of fear either. It's just like, you know, it's giving me the awareness of like how I need to move forward with this and how, you know, how to talk about it. And that's kind of why I made that video last night, was just to really make an icebreaker for it. And even then, my views on my videos got fucking slashed in half, dude. I don't know what the fuck's going on with it. They just don't want nothing. But yeah, the whole Venmo thing, like, it's fine. Like, you can bypass without the number. But it always like pops up, and I have to like remember that you can like bypass it. I don't really mess with TikTok. Like I do the videos and stuff for it, but like You know, I've tried streaming on there, and it's it is so much harder to tell someone on TikTok that tarot has nothing to do with future prediction, um, or anything about anyone else. It's so hard to do that. My viewers are just at 0. That's fucking hilarious. I know I don't have 0 viewers in here. Quit fucking with shit. Anyway, it's harder to do that on TikTok because they're brainwashed, like, actually, and they full on believe it's like a thing to future predict. They don't get it though. They don't, it's, I don't know, dude. It's the same way I do here. Tarot is not about future predicting. You can't predict the future because it's impossible. You might be able to predict someone's steps based off of how they're moving in the current state for sure, but you don't know who that person's going to be after you stop talking to them. They could do a 180 and go the opposite way. You can't future predict unless you're paying attention to your intuition. You know, that's what you have to do. And it's not even your intuition, it's your intuitive mind that you pay attention to. And you know, it's hard to explain that to people because they're like, no, this tarot reader said this, and that. And I'll say, yeah, they lied to you. They're just saying things that make sense to your rational mind because you keep comparing things externally and not seeing it internally first. And they don't get it. It's fucking weird. And welcome in, Stephen. Welcome in. How we doing? How we feeling? It's like, I don't know. It's fine, but it's such a learning curve that even if I explain it super simple, it gets met with like backlash and almost like anger. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's like, you're too young. You'll figure it out soon. It's like, what do you mean? I have it more figured out than you do, and you're like twice my age. Leave me alone. I literally, like, I don't get it. It took me less time to figure this shit out than it takes most people to figure it out, dude. It took me a year. I've only been reading tarot for 2 years. It took me a year to figure this out. It took other people decades to figure this out, dude. I don't know what people want from me. I seen it. It sparked my eye. I soaked it up like a sponge. I found a mentor. The student was ready. I found a teacher, and I've been off ever since then. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. It's so weird. They like, I don't know. For the ones that use the word, oh, I support the chosen ones a lot and use that phrase a lot, they do not support the ones who are choosing themselves to walk the path that they chose, or that was bestowed upon them. So it's kind of hypocritical. But like, that's, again, like how the world is, and that's, you know, from a collective humanity point of us self-sabotaging 24/7. So I can't get mad at anyone because it's everyone's issue. All I can do is do better for myself and push that narrative out more. Dude, I don't like the term chosen one. I really don't. But if I have to use it to like boost something that I'm saying, I'll say it. You know, it's a buzzword. It's something that grabs your ear. Oh, I'm chosen? What am I chosen for? I'm gifted? What are my gifts? You're not gifted and you're not chosen because if you had gifts, you'd know what they are. If you were chosen, you'd know what you're chosen for. Unfortunately, you're not. You're chosen to live here and your gifts aren't gifts. You just got to spend time and focus. Spend time on things and focus on it. It's just, your gifts are caused, your talents are caused by just attention and focus. People are very talented at tearing themselves down because they focus on the pessimistic thoughts so much. It's the talent. That's what it is. It's a focus. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that. But people want to live this rational lifestyle of feeling that they're better than someone to uplift themselves without even just knowing that, like, they've already had that. You don't need that label because now that label confines you in a box. It's like I use the term healer for this. It's just a buzzword. The fact that the term healer is even used, like, you have to learn how to heal yourself. You have to actively be healing yourself to be a healer. You can't just be like, oh, I'm healed all the way. No, that's a lie and a half. Anyone who says that is lying to you. They're not healed at all. They're actually unhealed, and they're lying to themselves because they can't face the actual depths of themselves. And I don't know. I know these terms, and people come and test me about it all the time, and I'll tell them up front, like, that's just what it is. You know, because I know my shit. I've walked the path. I know these things. I'm not like the rest of these people talking out their ass, you know, believing what someone else randomly said because they did fucking drugs and found it that way, you know? It's like, it's what we do. And people just don't like it. But again, like, that's the hypocritical part. In the age of truth, people don't want it. They want to know about aliens and all this shit. Who cares? We already know aliens are real. Hush. Let's move on to other things. Let's worry about why you're so worried about your ex still. Let's figure out that turmoil first. Let's figure out why you keep feeling tugged back to them. Let's figure out why you keep saying that someone has more power over you whenever we're all created equal. The only thing that's not equal is the flesh, and that's because it's related to the fucking world. Everyone's created equal. No one's more powerful than the other. I don't care how many schools, how high of a priestess you are. I don't know you. You're a nobody to me because you just popped up in my field randomly. You have no power over me because I don't know you. Simply as I have no attachment, no cord. You can't scare me into making me be underneath you. I know we're equal. So if you do something to me, I'm just not going to accept it. And it ain't going to do nothing. I don't got to send it back to you. I don't have to give your energy back because if you want to send it out and waste it, you go ahead and do it. I'm just going to let you fucking sit there and send that shit. It's whatever. I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. I'm just going to find a new way to move around it because I'm what people call an alchemist. I actually move things around. I know how to chip things. I know how to, like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just bizarre. I don't get it. Like, and people want to use these terms, but they don't even know what it means. Like, alchemy is a lot more than just being able to, you know, move around scenarios. If you can't describe something in more than one way, you're not an alchemist. Alchemy is the part of changing. If you can't dilute something down to its simplest form, to its base, you're not an alchemist. Simple as. You have to be able to break it down in layers. I might say the rational mind and the intuitive mind, but I can break it down to the consciousness and the unconscious. I can break it down to the brain and the heart, dude. I can break it down to its bare minimum. So, like, all these people say, oh, I'm all these things. You're not. I am. And I actively prove it. It is just bizarre because people are like, oh, you're just trying too hard now. It's like, I'm not trying hard. I'm just doing what you say you think you are. And you're seeing the reflection of it. That's all. It's just time and effort and focus, bro. It's just how it be, you know. And people might think it's like arrogant, but I don't give a fuck at this point, dude. Think how you want. I know who I am. I have self-confidence. Self-confidence is not bad. You need it. You need to have that background. You need to be self-centered. You need to be centered in self and know who you are. You need to understand that being a narcissist is not a bad thing. Being a narcissist means that you're focused on yourself over someone else's being. Would you rather be a people pleaser and continue to give to someone, or would you rather choose for yourself? For both people, everyone's a people pleaser and a narcissist in that term. And the term narcissist is just a fucking, like, blanket label anyway. Which is, like, even in medical school, they recognize it as a blanket statement. But then they classify it as just, like, someone who, you know, spends more attention on themselves than others. Which, again, like, you know what I mean? Everyone does that. When have you not chosen yourself over someone else? That's called that's a narcissistic action by itself, by definition. So it's like people take these words and scramble them up and shit. It's like, I don't know what's going on with it. It's bizarre. Yeah, the heart is way more powerful than the brain. Dude, your heart literally. So think of your heart and your brain as literally two parts of a magnet. The brain is the positive side. It's the side that's going to output and give energy, and your heart is the negative input. It is what receives energy. So what the mind does, it takes energy from that place and moves forward. This is how you create. This is your imagination. This is how you create feelings. This goes to your whole nervous system, your whole vagus system, everything of that whole thing, right? That's what's going on with that. That's the magnetism. We live on a polarity. We're working with poles, working with energy, magnetism. That's what we're dealing with. People know we have an electromagnetic field around us. We got electromagnetic bodies in our brain called synapses and electrons and shit. We have the world, the earth itself has its own fucking magnetic pool. We're dealing with magnetic energy. We're not dealing with good and bad. Stop saying that shit. That's the whole thing that gets people fucked up. That's the rational mind comparing it because you've experienced something and your whole nervous system wants to say that it's a bad thing because it sends alert to your system that you gotta unconfigure at some point, right? It's these things that people don't fucking talk about, but these are the answers that's going to set people free. It's not about getting rid of negativity. You need that negative energy. You need to get that shit in you. How the fuck are you going to output? Why do you think you're so drained all the time? Because you have no energy coming into you. You have no negative energy. You keep outputting. You're not inputting anything. And inputting doesn't just mean meditating and going in within yourself. It actually means receiving it. You can close your eyes and meditate all day long, but if you don't receive and accept the messages that you get, you ain't getting nothing from it. You're just getting a bunch of stuff and letting it stack up on you. Like, the right hand will clean the left and the left hand will clean the right. They are conjoined. They work together. Your intuition and your rational mind need to work together. Your brain and your heart need to work together. One is not better than the other. One is not higher than the other. They're equal. They're from the same source. They got to work together or nothing's going to work out. Why do you think the world's all fucked up? Because no one's working with their heart. Everyone's working with their mind. And those that end up working from their heart will delve too much into that heart space and not be logical about things and be too much in their feelings of things. You got to have that balance of both. And that's the journey of it. That's what spirituality is supposed to be teaching people, but instead it's teaching people about magic and occultism, which are different paths that have nothing to do with spirituality. Those are different paths. Those are the left-hand path. Spirituality is known as a right-hand path because it leads you down the right path. Not R-I-G-H-T, but R-I-T-E, as your life is a ritual that you walk. And that's what your spirituality is. But people don't get that either. But again, I'm that person. I speak on these things like that. I've walked down these paths. I know it in that sense. And people aren't, like, I don't know. People are ready for it, obviously. It's just bizarre. Because it's like, people be saying that, like, oh, I need someone who's going to speak truth. And I've just been here speaking truth all day long. It's just bizarre. It don't bother me at all. It's just funny as fuck because this is just life. It's just how it is. It reminds me of who I was in the past, being absent to seeing things, ignoring the red flags, even to modern day self, still ignoring certain small, minute flags that I should definitely pay attention to and start to it. And I am starting to as well as, the more, life goes on, the more time passes. So it's just a reflection of me at the end of the day. Not directly derived from me, but derived from an aspect of self that I can, relate to in that sense. But welcome in, Ash. How we doing? How we feeling? But yeah, I don't know. We talk about all sorts of shit up here. We don't just talk about tarot. We talk about all sorts of stuff, but my main mission is to get the tarot community shapen up, or at least get people to start realizing that that's not how you do it, and that's not where you need to be. Exactly, Nicole. It's all coming from a place of love. Is I can sympathize with it. I was there before. The only reason why I know this shit is because I was in that position. The only difference is I chose to walk down that path a little more. I chose to ask questions. I chose to keep my mind a little bit more open to see more. I didn't close it off. I asked questions. I wanted to form a relationship with what we know as God. So let's start asking who we are. Know yourself. That's what it says in the Bible. Know thyself. Okay, well, who am I? How do I operate? What is my brain? What are the nerves in my system? What are my muscles in my system? How is my whole body connected externally and internally at the same time? And, where are those points? All these things about yourself, learning that creation, learning the simplicity, but also the complexity of how God works, and then removing the fact of God being man and seeing the mother aspect of it, seeing the full nurturing, the energy that supports and fuels everything without actually being here. It's bizarre. And I'm I'm glad that you're here, Ash. I've just been on a break for a while. Things that I just need to recalibrate. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. Like, you know, obviously now we're talking because we've had, back and forth, but if only doing tarot readings and no one's talking, it's just gonna be dead silent. Like I can't, I'm not gonna be that overstepper, because people know. It's not that they don't. People know. It's just a matter of if they actually want to engage. And yeah, I do. It's just I can't overgive anymore. It's one of those things where it's like I need to be reimbursed. I need to be able to have like to know what I do is actually of effort. And I know that it is, but I'm not receiving any form of like security in a sense whenever I used to receive security from it. And I don't know if that's just because of deeper truths that we've been hitting, probably because of the deeper truths we've been hitting on, but it's just like, and yeah, there are those that need to hear it, and there are those that just choose not to hear it, and that's perfectly fine. But, it was all written in the book anyway. It's not just in the Bible, it's in all of them, Those that have ears will listen, and those with eyes will see. You will be met with a bunch of deaf, dumb, and blind individuals on the journey, and it's up to you to, maneuver accordingly. That's just how it be. And I always do my best. Some people just don't know how to ask questions as well, which is fine. But I try to also talk them to it because I don't lead people off on like a cliffhanger. If I don't understand something or someone else doesn't, I always like try my best to like make it simpler, or to a degree to where they understand. I'll pay attention to like how they talk and the terms they use and use it in that sense. But for the majority, I'm trying to, for the ones that wish to evolve, I'll be saying it. Yeah, exactly, Ash. That's kind of the whole. That's just it. Cause like I want to say like the past 5 to 7 months have been solely like I've only been afloat because of like donations and because of like services and stuff that people buy. So like what I have is very sustainable. It's just kind of like I don't know why the lack is there. I'm not sure if it's like a price thing. I don't, it's like a whole thing. Because even when I like changed my prices or and made like discount codes for things, it still didn't change. So it's less of like it's one of those things where it's just like I haven't found the right audience. I'm still carrying a lot of the audience that like would rather project and deflect and send things outward. So I'm still trying to cultivate that. Yeah, it is. It's my full job. Like I am a tarot teacher. I'm on the way to becoming a tarot master. I've spent every day studying these cards, looking at minute details. Like, even the fact that some of the cards have like an aura around them and shit, just because of like how it is and everything. Like, I look at these cards in detail, and I just meditate on them. Because it's like, I want to know what all it has. Pictures speak 1,000 words, but these images were made directly. These images were made with god dang it, intent. So there's not just 1,000 messages. There's 1,000 messages that you can derive from it, but there's one true whole truth that holds all those small derivatives in it, and that's what people are missing when it comes down to tarot. And mainly because no one knows what tarot is, which like is bizarre. How can you be a tarot reader and not know what tarot is? Like, what? It's like being a carpenter and not knowing what wood is. What the fuck are you doing? You might need to get some extra education in before you start saying this is your profession. No wonder all y'all have to say it's for entertainment purposes only and not actual advice, because you don't know how to read the damn cards. Maybe if you did. I watched a reading yesterday, and that shit was so confusing because they were like, the hermit reminds me of like a wish being granted. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean a wish being granted from a hermit? What? Do you know what a hermit crab is? That's where the word what? Like, do you know what the word hermit means? It doesn't mean anything about getting a wish. That's the Nine of Cups. How the hell do you get the Nine of Cups and hermit mixed up? I don't know. It's like, it's bizarre because it's like these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're giving people the wrong messages, and they're wondering why their lives fucked up. And I keep being attacked by magic, and you say XYZ is doing it, and because they're not actually doing anything to you, and you're punishing someone that doesn't need to be punished. So now your guides and your ancestors and your angels are beating your ass because you need to be disciplined, because it's not in your hands to dictate what happens to someone else. Unfortunately, we live in a world where you can't do that. It's not your job to punish others. It says it in the Bible. It definitely says it in the Quran. All these people wishing death on people, they better not be following the Quran and wishing death on people. It says right there, you wish death on someone, you the one gonna die if you follow the Quran. They don't fuck around like that. You do not ask you do not ask Elah, you do not ask Muhammad, you do not ask anyone to strike anyone down, or you will be the one struck down. And people are not realizing that yet. But the readers, on the other hand, they're following the Antichrist agenda. So the platforms fucking love them, you know. Keep lying, keep distracting, keep fabricating, keep making shit up, keep entertaining, keep distracting. Beautiful. That's what they want. That's why they get all the money. That's why they get so big. They feel like they're doing something good. Unfortunately, they're not, because they're listening to the rational mind and how their output of their life is better, because they're comparing it to their past rather than actually healing and growing. They've just replaced it with materialism. Most readers are, which is why they have to have these big fucking fancy setups. If you didn't need to worry about materialism, you wouldn't be doing that. I've kept it real since day one. Like, you're not supposed to, like, dude, even in the Bible, it says, do not wish harm upon your enemies, pray for them. Like, don't say, oh, I hope they get hurt. I hope I get my justice and revenge on them. No, just pray for them. They need fucking help. And all these people, dude, they act like they know this shit. I haven't even read the fucking Quran yet, and I know more shit about the Quran than most people who have read the Quran. Well, not most, but few people, because I've talked to a lot of people who have the Quran, and I've also heard a lot of people who have read the Quran not only in native tongue, but delved deep and broken down the sciences and what it actually is trying to say. And it's like, I have that wisdom, I have that experience, but I've yet to like read it myself. But when it comes down to like the Bible, dude, part of my journey was reading the Bible every day. Like, reading I had to read Psalms in one whole day. I had to read the whole Psalms before I went to sleep. I had to read like every book. Like, I was doing a book before I went to sleep every day, from Genesis all the way to end, all the way to Revelations, dude, all the way. And I debunked it. It was a whole part of my journey that I had to go down. So like, it's not something that I fuck around with. I'm a seeker. I gotta go look for things. I'm looking for the truth. Yeah, a lot of people who are religious just need religion so they don't end up doing bad things, which is very unfortunate, because you shouldn't have to be consumed in fear to just not be a bad person. Like, that says a lot. And I hope that those people can heal, because that's like not cool or scary. Like, it's not cool and it's scary, excuse me. And no one should have to be ruled by fear in that sort of sense. And a lot of people also don't read the text. They'll read the part where Jesus said, follow in my steps, but they won't read the part where Jesus said, there will be many who come in my name and speak not my image, and they will be and they will come in my name, and they will be called Christians, because his name was Christ. It was Jesus Christ. People knew him as Christ the Savior. So for the people who are going to be following him in a cult-like action, going to be called Christians. But, don't tell them that, even though it's in black and white. Or in red, depending on what Bible you have. It's also in red, because there are Bibles that directly dictate what Jesus said. Which is how you find out that Paul ends up lying about Jesus, because you'll see Jesus in black and then Jesus in red, and then you'll be like, why is there one in black? Well, that's because that's the false one, and that's the one that got crucified. The brother of Sophia, the one of false light, the one that people keep saying, oh, follow Sophia. Sophia's false light, dude. Exactly. That's the thing. Like, that's why I tell people, like, if I don't know something, I just don't know. I can give my opinion, I can give how it relates to me all day long, but if I don't know something, I'm not going to say I know it. If I haven't read a book, I'm going to say send it to me. Like, I need to inform myself. I don't know everything. I would like to at some point. I got to turn on that heat. I'm freezing. Hold on. I'm freezing. That is not what I want to do today. I do not want to be cold. But yeah, it's like, there's no issue with it. Just be sure that you know what you're doing. Because, like, what's more harmful than having no God in your life is having a God that you don't even obey. Or having a God that you don't even follow. Or having a God that you don't even listen to their teachings of, right? However you want to word it. That is way more dangerous than having a godless life, because now you have an awareness of a higher power and are deliberately choosing to go against it. And I would rather have no God in my life than have a God that I am constantly disobeying, because it is it's not a joke. People that might not believe in religion and spirituality, whatever, but once you get your foot in that door, and it's in that door, and it's not still wedged one way in and wedged one way out, you'll start to see the difference. And that's when you really have to make the choice of, do I want to do this or not? And that's why a lot of people are like afraid of like religions and ways of life, like Muslim, because they're very fucking strict. And it's not to punish you, it's because they have a very strict regimen that they follow. And even now in today's time, they've kind of loosened up. Not all of them, but there are a few who are like wearing different colored hijabs and things, and you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're just supposed to, like, But regardless, it's like, if you're supposed to follow in Muhammad's steps or Jesus' steps or whomever's, right? It doesn't matter. Thoth, fucking Athena, I don't care, right? It doesn't matter. It's, follow in their footsteps fully, in that sense. If you wish to live in that light, dress how they dress, talk how they talk, hold themselves how they held themselves, walk in their light. That's what it means. It doesn't mean to fucking act like you are protected by them. Walk in their light. You might not be perfect at it, but that's okay. That's the whole point of like a flesh being the representation of it, is because you're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to do what you can with it, but just know internally that you're walking that path. But I don't know. I don't know. You know how it be. But the debunking, which debunking, and we can talk about it for sure. But which debunking are you talking about? Because they are a lot of debunking stuffs. All of it. I gotta have a place to start. There's a way, like shit, dude. You want to talk about debunking shit? Let's start. Fuck, you know, let's start with astrology. Astrology is a big fat lie because it's westernized, and everything about westernized astrology is based off of Greek mythology, which is just man-made gods from the Egyptian gods. So half of your astrology isn't real. Like you only have we live in a lunar solar planetary system. We only have 7 planets. We have 2 luminaries, the moon and the sun. The moon comes first because it's feminine, and the feminine always comes first. The sun is masculine. Obviously, we know that. That's the part that didn't change. But you only have the planets of Mars, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. Those are your 5 planets, and those are your 2 luminaries. The other planets in astrology don't fucking exist. They're not a thing. In astrology follows the chemical order, which is fire, water, air, earth, not fucking fire, earth, water, air, the way it fucking goes. That makes no damn sense. But guess what? That makes sense to the people who follow Western astrology because they're going from the earth to making an idea. They're looking at the physical reality to make an idea, and then thinking about it and then getting emotional about it instead of like actually receiving an idea, letting your feelings rise with it, getting the thoughts that will help you move forward with it, and then coming together to actually create that on the physical, which is manifestation. But you can't tell that to astrologers because they'll be like, oh, but all these things, yeah, sure, but like you're also like, I don't know, like if you read your Vedic, your chart's gonna not be the same. If you get your Vedic astrology chart, your signs are most likely gonna change. Like you're not gonna be the signs you are in Western astrology because they don't work off the westernized alchemy order. And it's funny because the westernized occult alchemy is fire, water, air, earth, which is correct. But modernized alchemy within westernized teachings is not that way. Um, which is very bizarre. Um, so like, I don't know. It's just westernized teachings. People really need to like grab the concept that you like people and man, everyone has the opportunity to create a god, and the Greek gods are man-made gods. And I don't know, man. It's just really awkward to explain that to people because then they're like, oh, I talked to Odin and Athena and all of them. Like, yeah, you're talking to a man-made god. That's why your answers aren't getting put one way, and why everything has to be done within the physical with them, because they're man-made. They're derivatives of the Egyptian gods, who were just representations of the human body and how we work, and aspects of life that we go through, and representations in that sense. Not only that, but the world around us. Astronomy, oh god, most of the planets that you take pictures of are fake. Planets are not these solid things, dude. They're energetic bodies that are constantly moving. They look like stars. Like they're like I don't know how people are getting those photos of the planets, but like if you actually like look up at the stars and stuff, those planets are not that way. They're like shining balls of like light. It's weird. Like people kind of forget that these are heavenly bodies. That's like what they're called. You know, your stairway to heaven is that same way, but these are laws that govern us, and they're just, I don't know. I wish people would look into things more. But with astronomy, I'm into like all the planets and stuff, and it's cool. But it's like with astronomy and the study of the stars and the constellations, you really have to take it back to like the Sumerians, because they were the ones who had it. Take it back. No, take it back even further than Sumerians. Take it back to the Dogon tribe, because they had it down before anything. They had encounters that told them about this shit. That then the Sumerian civilizations built up upon, and then the Egyptian civilizations were finally solidifying, understanding it fully to unlock the full secrets. And then that's when Lower Egypt was invaded. That's the Pharaoh. That's the battle between the Pharaoh and Aaron and Moses. That's the invasion of the Little Egypt. The splitting of the Red Sea was when Aaron stole the Ark of the Covenant from the Pharaoh, who was a Jew, because the Romans were taking over the Egyptian way of life, so they could, have their knowledge, and the Jewish were coming in to portray Christianity in that sense. The Crusades were going around that same time. It not that long ago, unfortunately. We would like to think like, oh, it's so far away. It really wasn't. This has been like, we talk about the Crusades in history class and shit. You know what I mean? And that's in like the fucking 1300s and shit. Like, probably. I don't remember the exact dates. It's been fucking forever since I took history class. But all that stuff that it talks about in the Bible is like happening within Lower Egypt. That's the whole tearing apart. That's why astronomy and reading tarot and what they called future predicting, which is fucking funny, which is why tarot is consumed with future predicting, which is a joke that the gypsies made, because during the invasions they wanted to keep the secrets. The original tarot deck didn't have any major arcana in it, by the way. It was just a minor arcana, because they were just worrying about the secrets of life, the minor secrets, breaking them down into smaller pieces to digest easier. The major arcana came to make the bigger picture, to morph everything together, and that was because of the Egyptian order that happened. I forgot the name of the cult off the top of my head, but I'll remember when it happens. The Egyptian Order of Light or something. Anyway, the gypsies ended up saying that it was a card game, and then also using it as future prediction, which the Roman guards and the Roman Empire allowed, because it keeps people distracted. And what do you think we're ruled over now? The Roman Empire. Who do you think the Vatican is? That's the Roman fucking Empire. What do you think religion is? The Roman Empire. Who are you slaves to? The Romans, still, because of uneducation. So all these, and it's unfortunate, because you see all these people who, oh, I have Egyptian ancestry, I'm Kemetic, I'm all these things. No, you're not, because you're reading and you're reading tarot in the westernized way. You're reading tarot as a European would. But you have Egyptian blood? I don't think so. That's a disgrace. You're keeping that joke running. You're actually doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, because the Mayan calendar predicted that shit's gonna be busting out. So stick with your roots and start busting the truth out. Quit lying to people and shit. You know what I mean? And even then, like, dude, if you're gonna read tarot the way that y'all are gonna read it, at least fucking help people. Damn, whenever I did, I'd say, oh, they have an issue in this chakra, they should do this to help them, or they're attacking this chakra, do that. It fucking help them. Like, God, even when I did it, I help people with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like bizarre. Like, it don't make any sense. It's just a money grab. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. But anyway, back to the whole thing, like, tarot was made as like that, to be a joke, as future prediction, to keep to keep it running. So then it ended up getting taken up by the Romans, going all the way to Italy, being taken by housewives and made into parlor games, which is why when you look up what is tarot, what is this whole thing, it's a parlor game, because it's the fucking Europeans and Romans took it and they wanted to keep you all blind from it. You know, people don't look and question things. Is really bizarre. What about those watching the sky with a telescope? I don't know. Every time that I've looked through a telescope, I've never seen a solid planet. That's what I'm gonna say. So I don't really know. I don't know how they're getting those images. I don't know if it's like, you know, I don't know. Because we have not gone to space yet. I'm just gonna keep it a buck and real. We have not made it to space, and if we have, then why the fuck does God keep striking down Elon Musk anytime he tries to do it? If we've really gone to space, if we really have, then tell me why Elon is playing the role of building the tower to heaven, and then God's saying, "Hey, fucking stop! Now here's a storm. Quit fucking coming up here." Why? Explain that to me. If we've gone to space, if that's there, tell me why that's been prophesied in that book and why it's happening now, and why people are just like, oh, Elon's gonna make it to Mars and we're gonna be fine. No, Elon's gonna get y'all killed because he wants to go home. He don't want to be here no more. He admitted it already. He says, I want to go home. I'm trying to get home to Mars, his home planet. He's a Martian, dude. He's a fucking bug. He is a goddamn bug. And people look at me when I say that's crazy, but look at all the shit that he's been saying, and it's going to make more and more sense as you go on. He wants to go back home. He can't go home. He's stuck here for a reason. He ain't going nowhere. He's going to get punished because he needs to be here and get punished. He played the role of the Antichrist. He's going to stick the fuck here and deal with it when it happens. That's unfortunate for him, right? That's what he got to deal with. I don't feel bad because that's his decision that he made. That was his life that he chose. It's his soul, not mine. I ain't got a damn issue with it. But like, I don't know. It's in our face, bro. It's literally right in our face 24/7. But people don't like grab it. We have not gone to space. They admitted it already. They made a whole movie about it. I remember 2 years ago, I was talking about it. I was like, they're making a movie about how the whole moon landing's fake. So expect to hear about that coming out soon. And what's been coming out ever since that movie came out is a bunch of like, yeah, the moon landing's fake. Y'all, we know this by now. Fucking everyone's come out about that whole mission. Yeah, it's all fake. We didn't actually go there. You know, you can fucking tell anyway. The fucking how the hell you have zero gravity, but then you have a stiff ass wire. Hollywood got y'all fucked up. Hollywood got me fucked up too. But I don't know. We gotta pay more attention because we're in the times. They're here. The end times are here. That doesn't mean to get scared. It just means to get closer to whoever your God is and make sure you follow what they got you to do. You gotta make it where you gotta go home. Your home is not my home, but I'm gonna help you get to your home by making you realize who you are, connecting yourself to yourself, and hopefully finding your way back in that sense, you know. But my home is not everyone else's home. But I'll be damned if some people come here asking to go home. I'll be like, okay, I don't know where your home is, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, that's the thing. We already won. Like that. Like it's so obvious that we've already won. They're buying time. Ever since 2012, when the Mayan calendar said it was the end of the world, it's not the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we knew it. By the way, that's why the movie 2012 is like the way it is, as well. But it was the end of the world as we knew it. Things got a lot more spiritual. Things began to get a little bit more chaotic without having an actual physical presence being there for the reason. And as the time went on, things got more and more crazy, you know. People started realizing, oh, we have 2 moons and 2 suns because one of the moons is the reptilian moon, which is the one in orbit right now, which is why we don't see the fucking backside of it. And then we also have 2 suns, but that second sun's Nibiru that comes around every like so often whenever the end times are coming because we're in that time period. It's like, dude, like it's there. It talks about it. Y'all talk about like, oh, whenever God gets mad, there will be natural disasters. What's been happening for the past 3 years nonstop? Canada's on fire again. Like, again. It's been on fire for like a few days, actually. If you all didn't know that. All the earthquakes that's happening, all the fucking tsunamis and shit, all the tornadoes, like, dude. You can blame it on man-made weather all you want, but at the end of the day, Mother Nature still has the fucking control of this shit because she's the mother and she has the right to change things up whenever she needs to because she's the one operating this whole damn thing. And it don't matter how many times these people fuck up the electrons in the air, if Mother Nature needs to clean some things out, she's gonna fucking do it. And unfortunately, that comes at a price. And some people are not ready to pay that price. You know? It's just how it is. The more and more resistance that you face and you get is showing you the better off that you're moving forward with. You're fighting against, you're breaking the mold. Not the mold of the matrix, because the matrix is like a mindset that you trap yourself in the limiting beliefs, and that's it keeps you in that web. But you know, it's all very prevalent. It's super, you know, in our face. Just people aren't. I don't know. And I get it. It's kind of scary. It's scary to think that you're in the end times, but it would only be scary to those that are doing wrong or don't have or don't know their home. And that's just a calling to get home. You know, find where you gotta go. Dude. The main animal that has been speaking to me are the cicadas, dude. They've been going crazy, letting me know what shit's going on. Change is happening, big ass change. You don't have cicadas just randomly fly in and not make noise. We're talking about cicadas flying in this room when it's noisy as fuck outside. They don't make a damn noise. They don't panic. They don't flap their wings. I can pick them up and shit. Like there's change happening. These cicadas are popping up to warn people. They're like warn me at this point. It feels like because they're all like they just don't like. It's just different. I've never met a silent cicada before, and I've met like 5 of them, and I think that one of them's been a repeat offender. Honestly, but you know. The signs are there. Nature is speaking. Everything's changing for that reason. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, it's been a thing. I need to just close out of that. But yeah, it's just we're going through a lot of changes, and it's just important to know like where you want to go and what you're desiring to do at this time. Really just not worrying about how long it's going to take, but just, you know, walking the path that you got to take to get there. Baby steps, one step at a time. Definitely, like, talk to them. When animals come to you, talk to them. Just let them know that you see their presence and be like, hey, I see you. I know you're here. What messages do you have for me? And just hang out with them. Because they'll let you in on some stuff. You know, just because it's not a bird doesn't mean it's not a messenger. All animals are a messenger. Everything is a messenger if you see it. Welcome in, Lucid. I'm doing donation readings only for a while. So if you're able to donate, I got you. If not, unfortunately, I can't at this moment. Yeah, we just like we got to keep our individual path clean, but you know, coming together and banding together to to create an actual community, or like a sense of togetherness, for like a home, for like a a calming area, is key. Because like we can't let our past get too mashed up by like other people's viewpoints or anything, but it's important to just you know see where we're all heading. And awesome, Nation. That's awesome to hear. Um, I used to follow birds all the time in my woods when I was a child. I would like hear a bird and I'd look at it and just follow it and see where it would lead me. I ended up finding an old like toy of mine in the woods. It was really weird. I don't know why it led me back to it, but it didn't work anymore because of water damage. But it was cool. It was really cool. Any advice to tapping with past life? Pay attention to the repeating cycles that happen to you now, because there's something within like the past life self that keeps that going. But definitely, just like that's how at least I tapped into my past life a lot, is by seeing the cycles, and it wasn't really to like heal or to break those cycles, but to see like who I was to like create that energy, or to create that sort of connection. And don't try to like imagine yourself in different flesh. Imagine yourself within that energy that you feel. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of people would like to see themselves in a different flesh in like a past life scenario, and even though there is a different flesh, you have to connect it to something internal first, and that only thing internal is that feeling, is that observation of like how you can sense things. So paying attention to that, and then after doing that, when you dive into it enough, you might then get visualizations of who you were, get closer things of that sense. But that's my advice for tapping in the past lives. It works. It's backed up by just fucking science. you know because it's like there you could do like rituals and things as well, but like I feel like the only bona fide is just to to tap into that self, that aspect of self. And of course I got you. And yeah, I like sharing memories of self. I like sharing things of that nature. It you know you never know, it could help someone, it could boost someone up in a degree that they needed to be. It's helpful. But yeah, I don't know. Not my laptop. Why you acting up? What the hell's going on? Why'd the fan just kick on? Chill out. My laptop gonna explode one day. It's gonna be so funny when it happens. I'm gonna be like, damn. But no. And I feel like that's another thing. I feel like a lot of people just think that I only know about tarot because I keep like talking about it a lot, but like my whole channel has a bunch of shit. Like I had the trauma series going, and I still have that on like the back burner to talk about, healing from different traumas and stuff with the trauma series. I just can't delve into it right now. It's a lot of work. I do a lot of meditations for it, and I don't have the energy to do that. I barely have the energy to stream multiple times a day. So doing that is way taxing for me, especially with how things are going now. But I have those. I have the damn, I have a lot of shit. I got the chakra systems. I got it. I don't see many people talking about the chakra system in the way that I do, at least, where it connects everything together. Because a lot of people just concentrate on like the chakras as an individual point and not as like a network of signal impulses and like receivers and inputs and outputs. Because that's what it is. Like the wheels have two spinning methods, clockwise and counterclockwise, and depending on your gender, male or female, is dependent on how those chakras clockwise, whether it's inputting and intaking that energy or outputting it, depends. And that also just depends on like your whole body type, your human design goes down all the way to that. I have no idea about anything about human designs though. Even though I delved into it a tiny bit, I don't know much about it. But not only that, but then you have like you know, certain types of speeds that your chakras are going to spin at because of different frequencies that they're at. You have the chakras that will affect different things. Even though you have the lower and higher chakras, they all like coexist, and they don't just represent internal or spiritual functions, but also external and physical functions. Like your expression is not just like how you feel and how you speak, but it's also what you wear, how you're able to shine out, and that doesn't only just affect your throat chakra, but also your solar plexus, and then that can link down to your sacral, and then your root, and then hit your heart, which is going to hit your third eye, and then your crown. But people don't talk about it in that sense because they say, "Oh, it's this issue," but it's not about one. It's not about one whole chakra. If it was only one chakra, then you wouldn't have a system. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If you're gonna be a healer, you gotta be a doctor. If you're gonna be a tarot reader, you gotta be a psychologist. Dude, like, if you're gonna be a spiritual person, you basically have to be a therapist. At some degree, you have to be therapeutic to something, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, don't matter. You gotta be therapeutic to something. That people kind of forget that notion of it, and they go around and run with badges that are shiny but don't mean nothing because they can't really operate in it. I don't know. I'm just like that. I got the introspection. I've introspected since I was like 5 years old. Man, I have been thinking about everything since I was young, dude. I literally like what really got me to start thinking about what the fuck is wrong with the world is I was picking up toys in my hallway in my home, and I was thinking to myself, what if I act like I was asleep? And I turn around and look at my dad with my eyes closed like I was asleep. I thought that would be really funny. So I did that, and he smacked the shit out of me. And he said, "Don't do that." And I was like, what the fuck did I do wrong? And then, like, that really put me into, like, an introspective mood, because I was like, how is closing my eyes and acting like I was asleep mean? And why was I not able to explain myself? Why was it immediately reactionary? And after that, I was just like, there's something going on. There's something different about this. I walked up to my mom one day and was like, how do we talk? And she said, because God said so. And I said, no, like, how do we talk? Like, how did the vibration here, like, make us talk? And she said, I don't know. And I was just like, so no one has fucking answers for me. No one knows shit, but everyone wants to act like okay, let me go figure this. And I was like 5, 6, 7 years old asking these questions, dude. Walking around in fucking elementary school, like, what the fuck does this mean? Like, what is the meaning of this? What does that do? What does this do? And they're like, I don't know. Go ask someone who knows. I don't know anyone who knows. No one knows. I keep asking people. They say, I don't know. Ask someone else. Fuck, what am I supposed to do? I'm not asking anyone anymore. I'm gonna start fucking looking myself. Man, I hope the cloak from Spying Eyes too. I woke up at 4 in the morning, dude. Let me tell you what I did at 4 in the morning. I woke up at 4 in the morning and did the first 3 fucking spells out of this book. I was getting messages at 4 in the morning, and someone said, they were like telling me about like something they were going through at night, and I was like, I feel the need to like do this. So half asleep with my fucking phone light on, blinding myself to death. I like ran through. I ran through them all, went back to sleep. So I feel fine. I'm just in like a fiery, angsty mood. Like the someone has poured a little bit extra gasoline on me, and I'm not putting myself out. No, seriously, the children know. The children know. The children are the future. You need to protect the children. Keep them away from fuck like dead. I'm fucking serious. Keep them away from rap music. Keep them away from drill music. Keep them away from the music industry. Period. That's Baphomet's realm. That's the world that Baphomet wants you to live in. Stay the fuck away from that shit. Keep your children away from it because they know that all they have to do is get a rapper to be an influencer and they're gonna send people out. Who was it? Little Baby, who ended up posting saying, "I'm gonna pay one of y'all, one of his fucking fans $1,000 to take out a hit of his." And I'm pretty sure that almost happened. You got kids like literally backdooring people for like clout and shit because of what that shit's talking because of like what drill music and rap music today is talking about and shit. It's god awful. You need to protect the children. It goes a lot more than keeping them safe from like estranged family members. Keep them safe from, feeling scared to ask questions. Keep them safe from feeling like they're out of place, you know? And, I feel like the world is shifting to that, especially in like with my generation and even like with other generations that I'm seeing. Like everyone is getting this grand gist of like the failure of like parenting or the failure of sharing is simply working out of those old wounds. And it's like you have to really pour that love that you wish that you had into that vessel that grows up. It will pour back into you, it will come back to you. And it's about really protecting that soul. The when you say to your child, you can do whatever you want, mean it. Don't just say it because it's a saying. It's a true thing. Let their mind cultivate off of that. Don't let their mind be put in lack in a lack mindset. That's why people don't feel like they can achieve things. That's why it's harder for certain people to achieve things. They live that lack. Give them that abundance. Even if you live in a material lack, remind them like this doesn't mean anything about you. This material lack that we live in doesn't define you. It's an experience to shape and to morph you. You know that you desire more, so encourage them to seek out those resources, to seek out that knowledge, that wisdom that's going to help them get to that point, because that's the cycle break that it takes. That's all it takes, is to keep that childlike mind and active. That's why everyone spends so much time trying to revive their inner child, in their later years, is because it needs to know again. It needs to remember before it goes back up to mother. It doesn't need to remember. It doesn't need to learn this lesson again. It already has it. It just needs to pass it on so that it can say that I did what I needed to do. Exactly, dude. Like, it kills the innocence. It's awful. It's the whole adrenochrome thing. If they can't kidnap your child and take the adrenochrome out physically, they'll just drain your child's inner joy and make them super depressed and make them a husk and then start filling them in with shit that they want to fill them in with. They don't have to fucking kidnap kids anymore. They just do that for fucking vampirism rituals and shit, and because they're fucking messed up in the head. Weird ass vampires and reptilians and shit. But they don't need to do that anymore. All they gotta do is, play a certain frequency. All they have to do is fucking click a button and cause mass hysteria, They just gotta change the magnetic pools of the things around us, the ionic field that's like that far above our head. They just gotta fucking click a button, change that shit, and your whole demeanor changes. That's all they gotta do. And they've had this technology for fucking ages. But it's just now becoming more prevalent, apparently. Well, at least more public. There's been people that's known about it, obviously, but it's becoming more public knowledge now. Especially with the whole patent links and stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing here. I hope, and I also do know that more people are awakening. I just hope that they're susceptible to it and that they don't hurt themselves on that journey. Because getting too deep into truth too quick can fuck you up bad. Oh my god. Some people are really just not ready, and they just have to take they have to like take their time, and that's perfectly fine. Walk your path the way you do. Don't have guilt, don't have shame, you know. If you're not ready for it, it's fine. But your soul might be, you know, encouraging you to go forward with it. You know, it's meant for you. You'll find it when it needs to find you. You'll find it in a way that suits you better. Trust me. But it's about just walking that path, you know. Exactly. When you meditate, you really feel who you are. It's not just the reaction of someone else. It's not the fact that you're experiencing an output that you have. You're inside of yourself. The only thing you have is your own heartbeat and your breath. You know, your thoughts subside, and then you feel who you are. And it's like, damn. Like if I'm this, it's different. Like for me, I have this memory before I was born. I remember the darkness before the light. Like if I think back, I can remember like a lot of my childhood. It's fucking bizarre. I remember the darkness before the light. I remember, you know, being with mother before even coming here, which is why it's so important for me to speak. I've had a really deep internal feminine energy. I'm a very effeminate male. I've been called that many times by many people. I have a very big open heart, which is very strange for a masculine type to have, but it's whatever. Who gives a damn? It's just what I am. It's who I'm supposed to be. That balancer, that equalizer, you know. And me growing up with that has shifted me and shown me a lot of you know, not only traits that are toxic within within the feminine aspect, but within the masculine aspect, and how they feed off of each other and how they rebound, and how it's based off of a fear of working together, a fear of that actual power, because that fear has been instilled in us for ages. You know, you can talk about it within slavery, you can talk about it within wars, you can talk about it within, you know, kidnappings or whatever. You're afraid of the power because you know what people will do to stop you from getting into it. And it's about remembering that power is stronger than what any divided man could ever do to anyone, and stepping into it and walking with it. Like, I'm glad, like seriously, like meditation helps. Like delve into yourself, know who you are, know your morals, know your moral compass, know where you stand. You know, like don't let the like, I talk blunt. I can sometimes be monotone. You know, I don't tend to over exclaim. I don't like smile a lot, but I'm goofy, you know what I mean? And it's, I used to like take that to heart and be so self-conscious about it, but it's like that's just who I am. I'm not going to put on a show for someone. Like, yeah, I can entertain, but I'm not really here for that, you know. But sometimes I am. I can't lie, sometimes it is fun. But you have to know like who you are, like what do you desire versus other people. Like who cares? If someone, you know, makes a choice, that was their choice. If you decide to exclaim your feelings of that choice, that's your choice, you know. And you just have to, you know, understand that it has nothing to do with the other party. It has to do with you and what you need to do to help yourself out. Don't ball it up. Don't worry, oh, I can't speak about this because it's going to hurt someone. Doesn't matter. That person is already hurt inside, or they wouldn't have, you know, everyone's hurt inside. Let's just be real. So there's no need to worry about that. You need to focus on you and relieve yourself of that pain. So show yourself the love that you were desiring from the other by doing what you need to do for yourself in that sense, whether it's public or private or however, you know. It's important. It's super important. And it's just these boundaries we're told, oh, you're too reactive, you're too emotional, you're too blah blah blah. Who cares? You're not too much of anything. Someone just isn't used to it, and you're making them uncomfortable because they aren't ready to release those boundaries and grow and have that soul maturity. You know? That has nothing to do with you. If someone has to cry, let them cry. Don't tell them to stop. Let them purge. Let them hold that space open, because in that time and space, not only are you holding space for them, but you're holding space for yourself to show you that it's okay to do these things. And yeah, and a lot of the scripts that are in our mind are not ours. They are simply conditioned pieces of ourself that we've agreed to. And welcome in, Annie. How we doing? How we feeling? But yeah, this stuff is just like, I don't know. And be bizarro. It really do. Welcome in, Anita. How we doing? How we feeling? And yeah, that's all I do. I always speak facts, dude. I speak from the heart, man. I got you. I don't know why I was about to ask you, Nicole, to donate. You literally donated earlier, so I like stopped myself mid mid thought process. It was like I already have it. Hold on. But Annie, I can, but I need a donation first. I'm doing donation pools right now. But I got you, Nicole. But yeah, I do my best to keep spitting facts, you know. Oh, hell yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're a lot back to you're getting together. This world very much is eccentric, odd, and extravagant at the same time. I'm not gonna lie. It really is. But for your card right now, you have the Chariot reversed. With the Chariot, the numerology of the card, you know, being 7, it talks about needing to wait, and this could be a warning of being impatient or trying to move without having a full control of things, because the Chariot upright talks about you having complete balance between both your feminine and masculine energies, and being able to take off at any moment as you have your scepter, the wand right there, the same wand, the same scepter that the magician has, the same scepter that mother gives you from the world, which is why she has 2. She gives one to you, which is the one she's holding out, and why she has one held close to her. Let me just get the card out for you real quick, because I love doing this. And also, it's tarot lesson. Let's fucking... I'll use any reading for a tarot lesson. I'm sorry. It don't matter. But yeah, that's why she has one closer to her than the other. The one in the right hand is going to you. The one in the left stays close to her. For that reason, she hands you that to the magician. And then after the magician, you become the, well, not after the magician, but during the magician's awakening and realization, you become the driver of the chariot, being able to ride your own. So right now, before moving forward with something, definitely wait. There might be things that the divine needs to do, especially with the numerology being 7. It's the Sabbath, waiting on the divine to do what they need to do. But as well, also finding a bit more stable grounding. You might have an idea of how you want to move forward, or have an idea of how you're desiring for something to come together. And I got you, Anita. I seen it. But right now, you're needing to really see things from a different point of view, kind of taking to check both sides of you, which isn't normally something I would say, but I'm feeling called to say that today, which is really interesting. Check on the feminine side of you, and also check on the masculine side of you before moving forward. You know, check on, like, if your feelings, if your intuition and if your heart are all moving in like an aligned state? Are you moving out of a presence of like fear? Or are you moving out of a presence of you know, absolution or wanting to create? Just connect back to the why, before you start running again. And then also check in within the masculine energy, how you're outputting. Are you procrastinating on things? Are you overworking on things? Are you focusing on one aspect more than the other? Because there is an imbalance with the chariot being in reverse. Regardless, overall, with the chariot being there is a completion. There is a mastery that is happening. It's just not complete yet. You may be going through a mastery yourself, or a purging as well. That's causing you to stay in this disconnect, not able to move. And maybe you're wanting to move out of that energy because of uncomfortability or impatience or however. But really sit now and just kind of reconnect back to the why, and connect back to the action output of what you're desiring. You know, just connect back to the true intent of things. But you know, regardless, you do have a scepter, you do have a wand from Mother. You're just not curating it. Either that, or you're not sure that you have it or how to use it in a way that's beneficial. So spend time remembering the why, what you're desiring to do, why you're desiring to do it, and the outcome that you're actually wanting to output, so you can have a more firm path to follow. Well, that's the card I got to you. And when am I doing reads again? I do reads all the time. I'm doing a donation reads right now. As far as collective reads, those things don't exist within tarot. And as someone that's teaching tarot and delving more into the truths of tarot, I'm stepping away from the ways of tarot that are kind of dogmatic. I have been kind of thinking on the back burner to do a collective reading in a sense, but it would be a lot more educational than entertainment, which a lot of people have an issue with. But that's why I haven't been doing them, because if I did them, they would be a lot more educational than entertainment. But it has been something I've been thinking about. It's just difficult making videos at this time. But I will keep it. I'll keep that in my mind for sure. I'm not against general readings. It's just, it's so difficult in this time and age to do a general reading because people don't have that discernment aspect anymore. A lot of people end up just gravitating and attaching stuff to them, which is difficult. So but yeah. But I got you. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, of course, at all. Like, it's just something that I need to find a way to to get them to cooperate. You know what I mean? There is a way to get them to mash together. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. Because I don't want it to be dry bones, boring, and be just fucking blah blah blah. And obviously when I do read, I do channel as well. It's not just me reading tarot. I'm also channeling as well and getting messages from the whole scope of things. So I'm doing multiple things with it. So it's, again, very possible. I just need to find a more comfortable route to actually output that and direct it in a better sense. You know what I mean? But, it's something that's been on the back burner. I've been trying to do it. So, yeah. That's how it, I mean, that's the thing, though, Anita. I overthink a lot. But I turn my overthinking from a thing of deterrent to a thing of education and wisdom. Instead of overthinking on things and getting panicked by it, I overthink to overstand them, so that I can have a better grip of it, so it doesn't have that sort of sway on me. So I'm very observant, dude. I'm so bad about it. It's so funny. People will be like, you do this, right? It's like, yeah, I know I do this, and then give every reason for why I do it. And it's like, I'm so observant. It's just, I can't. It's so funny, dude. It's funny like that. I love it. But I got you, Nita. Let me get you your few cards, and I'll get you. And thank you as well for the donation. I appreciate love that. But yeah, I don't want to speak like the Wizard of Oz. I don't want to be the man behind the curtain. I want to be the person removing the curtain. Who the hell is this man? Why you pulling quit pulling that lever? Dang. Yeah, I've been live streaming a lot actually. That's all I've been really doing. I have been uploading videos within the 6 months. But YouTube just like doesn't notify people. Some people aren't getting the notifications because they don't have the notifications enabled. But there are other people that have notifications enabled and they're not getting the the notification from it. So, don't feel bad about it. It's literally like YouTube is being weird. Because I'll get notifications from videos that I'm not even subscribed to. But I get messages, like I even asked my friend, one of my friend, he pops in here sometimes. His channel name is Echoes Collective. He's that dude. Even he'll be like, I just haven't been in any of your streams because like, I don't get notifications. So yeah, it's AI basically. That's AI, dude. Fucking human programming and then also AI teaching AI how to program itself as well is just an awful thing. Because it's just people coding stupid shit and the stupid shit making more stupid shit. It's a good idea. Like AI is very resourceful in that sense of like helping and generating ideas for those who need that sort of need. But like, you need to watch out who's programming it, because whoever's programming it is putting who they are into it. Even if they keep it like, open and versatile, it's still who they are and how versatile they can be and how open they can be. So it's like, no matter how technology based AI is, it's going to have a human error code in it. And that's going to be really funny at all times, because that's just who we are as humans. We fuck up everything we touch because we're learning. At least I think of it that way. I don't mean fuck it up in a bad way. I just mean, oops, I fucked it up. Who cares? I spilt my water on the floor because I moved my hand too quick. That's perfectly fine. I didn't. I'm learning how to use these limbs and shit. So it's fun. But yeah, and no worries. I got you, Nicole. I always do my best for that. And I get that, the pure imagination. Let me get to your reading, Anita, because I'm all over the place right now. Excuse me. Okay. So the first card that we have is the Hermit Reverse. Right now with the Hermit Reverse, there is something that you're not drawing up. A lot of people think the Hermit card is a time to delve within yourself and to pull something out. That's not the case. If you see here, the Hermit has his eyes closed and holding up a lantern in the abyss. He's drawing stuff up to him. He knows that there's an answer that's trying to find him. He just needs to be the beacon of light so that can find him. And that's what you're needing to do right now. You're needing to sit still and allow yourself to allow things to come to you, rather than trying to bring them up from an internal source or bring them up from like a thinking pattern or things of that nature. Really be in that energy of bringing this up. And with the Hermit, the numerology of the Hermit being 9, this is that test. This is a test of calling to see, are things that you're doing allowing you to experience what you desire, or are the things that you're experiencing controlling you and making you feel certain ways and changing your experience in that sense? Really sit down and focus on that self aspect of self at this time. Don't worry about shadow work. Don't worry about trying to heal trauma. Don't worry about trying to bandage those things up. Just let the things that need to come to you come to you. Whether that be thoughts, whether that be feelings, whether that just be a sign from the divine from the outside, or just numerology, or however, let those things come to you and then nurture them. Don't just allow them to come to you and overwhelm you. Delve into them. Don't break them down to make it, more of a mess around you. But try to piece them together. See how they work together. See how they're in tandem, so you can fully get the picture that you're needing. And we have the Three of Cups after that. The Three of Cups talks a lot about a distraction. That's why the woman in the red is there. Red and within tarot represents the rational mind, or the part of the brain that's focused on the external world. The one in the white is you. That is your purity. That is your heart space. That is your pyre. That is just you in your purest form. And the one in the gold is your gold. That's your goal, right? That's where you're trying to get. These are bridesmaids as well. This is a wedding. This is a getting together. The three representing a getting together of things. You know, the combination of two. Two equals three. You know, when two come together, they create a third. That's what it's talking about. With the cups, is talking about a distraction within the feelings. You may be having certain thoughts or certain activities around you. Maybe I want to do this. I don't want to sit down and focus on this. I want to go out and do this. I don't mean to I don't mean to out you like this, but I do remember you talking about drinking. This could definitely be about not, you know, withdrawing from drinking, or trying to even see like what aspects of yourself bring up that need to drink, or bring up that distraction. Whatever the case is, with all the abundance, with all the floral around you, with all the fruit around you that you have on the ground that's growing in these vines, it's there to support you, but don't get tripped up on it. And it's there to also remind you that there is this part of you, this part of a cycle part of you that is drawing you back into past things and keeping you away from your goal. And it's not about cutting it out immediately. It's just about being aware of it. As you see as well, like the one in the white, you completely oblivious of what she's trying to do. You can see your hand right in the middle. The one in the red is blocking. The one in the red is trying to click cuffs with you, and the one in the yellow is blocking off the one in the red. It's kind of hard to see, but you'll kind of see it there. Your hand is in the middle, the yellow's hand is right there, and then the red is trying to act like that's the end goal. It's trying to get you to go back into that cycle. And that's this warning. That's why you're trying to draw this information up for, instead of going out and searching for it, because searching in out that answer is only going to lead you down a path of fate, down that path of the rational mind. Allowing yourself to allow the information to come to you is going to not only nurture you, but it's going to allow you to be on that path, and allow you to see what you need to do fully. Overall, with the star, be sure to be very connected with the source of, like, the internal source, the feminine. Be sure to stay detached from things that cause too much burden, as this zodiac for this is Aquarius. And be careful of false wisdom as well. Be careful of false light, as this card also represents Sophia. Be sure that what you're doing on the physical is nurturing the things in the spiritual, and also be sure that the things that you're cultivating internally is motivating you in an optimistic way, to create on the physical, rather than in a pessimistic way to keep you held back. But that's really what you're being asked to do at this time, is to dive in deep and to make sure that you're connecting with yourself, and not detaching yourself by following an addiction or following a distraction at this time. It's not to say that you're in the wrong, it's not to say you're doing anything bad, but it's saying that the answer that you do want, the answer that you want, the healing that you're desiring, the escape that you want out of this situation is there, but you're needing to see what distractions are keeping you within that cycle. But there is your reading, Anita. And I am doing very well, Am. How are you doing? I was looking at you. I was looking at you saying hey to me. And I was just like, I was trying not to say hi to you. I was fighting myself from being like, I can't say hi. I'm in the middle of the reading. I'm doing good. I've never heard of that word before, and I'm glad that you put it on my timeline. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's going in my Google browser for later. You know what? You already know what I'm about to do. That I'm gonna tear that word apart, dude. I'm gonna break it apart. I'm gonna etymology it. I'm gonna get the origin of it. I'm gonna come back and break down that word like none other, dude. I love doing that though. Holy shit. I love deconstructing words. It's so fun. Not only phonically, but like literally too. And heck yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, Amb. And I got you, Anita, no worries. Like I gotta, like I love getting to know definitions of words, but when I start getting the origins and etymology of shit, that's when I start falling in love with it. That's when I start getting really familiar with it. Uh, I will look into it. It's so funny because when I say that, I don't think people believe that I mean it, but I have a whole folder full of PDFs of like books that people have told me to look into. I forgot who it was. I don't know if they're in the chat, and if you are, please tell me because I've literally, you told me to look up a book that talked about tarot a lot, and it uses a lot of the knowledge from like Scottish Rite degree masonry 33 33, yeah, Scottish Rite 33 degree masonry. I forgot the order it goes in. My apologies on that aspect. But also like the Kabbalist way of how tarot is, and I've been reading through that and looking at the charts in that, and it's getting me more connected to see what the truth of tarot is, in the sense of how it became more of a religious stature than how it used to be based off like the Roman changing of it. And it's allowing me to connect a lot of dots from like the original purpose of it to like the occult and like Kabbalist, you know, definitions of it, and the whole tree of life, and the quiblith. Is that how you say it? I don't fucking know. The shadow tree, the tree of shadows. So I've done a lot of comparison with that, and that's helped me out a lot. Cause like, again, I don't care how much I know. Well, there's more to know. I know a lot, but I know nothing at the same damn time. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Cause like, yeah, see, I love learning, dude. I hated school, but I love learning. I hated school, dude. It was ass. I looked at people upside down, dude. People were so fucking like weird. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. There was one kid in my school who I knew for a fact had stuff like down pack, because he was talking in high school. Mind you, this is like, oh god, I graduated 2018. 20, 21, 22, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. 8, 9 years ago, right? This kid was talking about how JFK was killed by the driver, and then that came out recently. So there was one other kid that knew the shit and knew that things were not right, and he was made fun of. He was more open about it than I was. I was just a freak in high school, but I knew all this shit. Like I just dabbled in the occult arts. I dabbled in like a bunch of religions and shit and learned some stuff. But he was like, he got made fun of for talking all sorts of conspiracy theories and shit that now all turned out to be real. So it was such a funny revelation to me, because everyone was like, dude, this kid's fucking stupid, he's crazy. And then like everything that he's talked about and said is just like came out recently, like casually, like nonchalantly, like, yeah, you know, JFK was killed by the driver. Actually, it wasn't the gunman, and that whole death was fake. We didn't actually kill anyone. That was a whole like, you know. So I don't know, not to talk about it too much, even though it's out like legal documentation and stuff, and you can read all about it uncensored and everything. You know, he was talking about it way before time came in, so I was happy to know him. He didn't like me though, but I would, anytime he would speak, I would listen, because he knew what the fuck he was talking about. He might have been crazy, but he was crazy because he was the one speaking. And welcome in, Destiny. I seen you as well. I was just on a roll talking. I've missed you as well. I'm glad that you can stop in and be here with us. We're all students for life, genuinely. And yeah, I was lost in school too. I didn't really find my path of like what I wanted to do until like 3 years ago, and that's when things started to really solidify. I had ideas of like, you know, music, being like a music producer and DJing, and I did that obviously. But I never thought that I would take my occult studies, or like the studies within magic or the studies of angels and things of that nature to this degree. It never was on my mind at all. It popped up literally 3 years ago, and I've just walked with it, and I've been doing it for 2 years. So it's just it's really crazy how life ends up sometimes. So don't worry about feeling lost and not waking up till then. The fact that you're awake now is the only thing you got to worry about and be happy about, dude, because there are still some people who are your age and they're blind. They're blind to it all, so they don't want to look at it because of like ignorance or fear, or just because they don't want to believe in it or whatever, or see it. So just know that you're on the path. You're all good. you know don't worry about the time. If it's destined for you, it will happen. Don't worry about the time. Don't worry about the place. It's gonna happen. It will happen. Everything will be good. And the fact that it happened proves that you're on the right path. You're already seeing things. You're good. There's no need to panic or feel like you're not going to be saved, because that's just going to send you down cycles for stuff. But yeah, you gotta, you know, you just gotta keep that stuff up and be like, it's what I gotta do. And yeah, there's been a lot of sleepers in my life. I had someone straight to my face, your energy doesn't exist. And I turned off the lights in front of him and said, what the fuck did I just do? And he said, you turn off the electricity. I said, what's electricity? It's fucking energy. Why do you think you go pay your energy bill, dumbass? People are so stupid. Energy don't exist. Okay. Okay. What kind of crack are you smoking? Because I want some. If you're that gone and delusional, give me. I'm popping out of here. I'm gone. Damn. It's called the fucking energy center, dude. You buy Clark Energy, dude. That's where you pay your water bill and your electric. Dude. Fucking energy don't exist. Y'all are fucking blind as hell. And I can't get mad. I gotta sit there and laugh because it's like, damn, there's a lifetime where I was like that. That's bizarre, man. You gotta really think about it. Like, there was a lifetime where I was like that, where I didn't believe in that shit. And then here I am looking like a schizo talking about like this, right? It's fucking comical. I can't get mad. It's fucking hilarious. Like, I simply can't get mad. It's the funniest joke, but it's kind of annoying. It's like, dude, I can't. They didn't know what the Big Dipper was. You gotta teach them. Teach them about the constellations. Show them. Just do not show them the swastika of like the dippers with relating to like the North and South poles and stuff, because then they'll start freaking out. Just let them know about the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper first. Start them off small. I wish I could speak Hebrew, man. I like, dude, that's the thing with Enochian magic. I really want to learn Hebrew. I really want to learn how to phonically speak Enochian. I kind of know how to. It's like kind of like Latin, but not at all, because it's like European. Well, yeah, it is European because John D was in England. So yeah, it's like weird, like European Latin type thing with also like kind of like a Brit. It doesn't really have any like British narrative in it, but it also has a lot of like Jewish and obviously because of the Hebrew in there too. But it's just there's a lot. I've always wanted to do that. I know how to write in it though. I can writing it. I can but speaking. Good luck. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Christopher. Like, with me and a lot of other people, like as children, you aren't like conditioned. Like when you hit 5 years old, that's when your brain like is malleable enough. That's when your brain is malleable enough. Sorry, that's when your brain's malleable enough to learn. I just gotta look at those things like that. These encounters are so silly sometimes. But it's a fucking motorcycle, dude. You know what that is, dude. It's a Harley Davidson. You know what those fucking are. Fucking winged ass beasts up on the lands. Ain't nothing wrong with bikes, but just know you gotta know the history. But yeah, see, it was when your brain's malleable like that, we then like get boundaries like, oh, your parents say you can't do that, you can't do this, or like people around you are like, you can't do that, you can't do this. School keeps you in that box. You got rules that you got to follow, all that shit, and it puts that damping on you. But it's really just a wet blanket. Think of it that way. Instead of thinking about it as being like blockages, just think of it as being like a very wet blanket that you have to end up pulling off of yourself. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'll only quit. I'll go there and be okay. God. Okay. I get it. But yeah, it's just, pulling off that damp blanket is all you gotta do. It's just a wet blanket. You gotta pull it off. You gotta pull it off your third eye, because that's what the veil is. You gotta pull it off your chest. That's why whenever you're going through something that has deep feelings or roots, your chest starts to hurt. You're literally pulling things out and opening up your heart space for to accept more. You're opening up that vortex. That portal is actually activating. You got a portal here. You got a portal like at your belly button. Your hands are portals, your feet are portals, your knees are portals. You got a portal here. You got a portal back in the back of your neck, like where your spine and your brainstem connect. That's like, what is that called? It's called the Eye of God. Someone knows what it's called. I forgot what it's actually called, but it's another chakra that's like back in there. That's another point that you have. Well, we got a bunch of portals over us, and those, when those different portals start to activate or tingle or have senses of pain, it's because something's purging or something's activating or something's opening in it, and you got to go see what's happening. You got to focus on that area. For me, it's been a lot of chest, and it's getting exhausting because I've been purging a lot, and the heart space that I had like cramped up and closed is opening, and it hurts. Because it should have been way more open and way bigger than it was. It is. You know how it is. When the energies are high and shit's moving, it's that pain that like it feels good, but it's like I want it to stop because it's uncomfortable. But I know it's for the better cause, because the bigger my heart is, the better I'll be. That's all I need at this point. Yeah, it's Modi. Like, that's the thing. Everyone wants to like destroy shit. You don't have to destroy it. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you. But yeah, Asmodeus can like be tamed. It's just lust. It's your seven deadly sins are just your seven deadly. I mean, your seven not deadly virtues. Shut up. Your seven deadly sins are just your seven heavenly virtues. And just knowing whatever demon controls those deadly sins, it has an overarching angel that's controlling it. That is its heavenly virtue. You just gotta see the opposite side of it. See that polarity of it. Not the duality, because they're not fighting, they're working together, they're entangled. You cannot have one without the other. Two sides of a coin, it's two sides of this card. Same difference, doesn't matter, right? You gotta have two. You cannot just have one. That's the illusion, though, is we look at it from a 2D point of view, because we can only see one part of it unless we take the time to take the depth to dive in to go to the third dimension, which is inside of you, not outside. But I mean, again, most of us know this, but the more I can alchemize it, the more I can say it in different ways, the better it's just going to be. Not only for me, but for those that just need it in that sort of sense. Because, again, that's just what I do. I think it's fun to do it. I like doing it, dude. I have a gift of doing it, and I can't stop. We're all the Fool, Desi. Don't even worry about that. The Fool is just the beginning of the journey. The Fool, we're all the Fool, man. The Fool is you. The Fool is in every card, dude. That's the Fool. This is the Fool. This is the Fool, but more educated. This is the Fool, but focused on feeling. This is the Fool, but mastered. This is the Fool, but trying to balance, dude. It's all here. Here's the Fool, but sitting here trying to nurture what they have on the physical. Here's the Fool indecision. Here's the Fool moving forward. Here's the Fool defeated. Where's the actual Fool card at to finish it off? I can't find it. I don't care. But yeah, it's all the Fool. It's just the Fool just means new. When you hear April Fools, that means April greening. Fool, it just means green. It means the birth of something. So when you hear April Fools, that's April's greening. That's when April starts to come to life. That's when the greenery starts to come around us. That's why it's called that. To be full is to be green, to be new. So it's okay to be the Fool. You just have to understand that things are new. Don't, beat yourself up or put extra pressure on yourself for not knowing how to do things. Be the Fool. Ask questions. Take that leap. The rational mind, that white dog, let me get the Fool card out because I do have to get it out. I'm going to explain it this way. The white dog on the Fool represents your rational mind. The reason why is because anything white animalistically in the tarot deck represents the masculine sense, as same thing as within the yin and yang symbolism, right? Also, not only that, but what do dogs do in times of danger? They bark. That's why you have two dogs howling at the moon. This is your consciousness howling at your subconscious, and your subconscious isn't fully there. It's being eclipsed by something. It's being eclipsed by all the noise that those dogs are making. While you're emerging as new, which is a scorpion, which is representing rebirth, out from the waters, the depth, the deep blues, the deep introspection, between the two pillars, your your rational consciousness and your intuitive consciousness, with you in the middle, just trying to understand and see things. You know what I mean? But here's the Fool card. There we go. But the white dog there is representing the rational mind, and it's barking at you. It's joyful, it's gleeful, but it's also saying, yo, there's a fucking cliff. Watch out. You don't care, though. You have fledgling wings right there. You're a baby bird about to fly out. You have the rose in your hand as a sign of peace, a sign of from mothers saying that you're gonna do great things in this world, but you have to remain pure. You have to remain ready. You have a bag. You're ready to go on. I forgot all the full symbolism, so I had to pull up my notes to get it all because I broke the Fool card down deeply. But you're taking that journey. You're taking that leap. And where does the Fool go after its first leap? It goes right to the devil. Dead ass. After you take the leap of the Fool, you take that first leap. Damn, I must have fucked up. Everything's not working. I'm scared. I can't see. Your rational mind's fucking going crazy. Your feelings are going nuts. You're inflamed. You don't know what you're doing. You feel bound to Saturn, which is just time. Saturn is father of time, is time and matter. You feel bound to that. Everything's dark. You're not able to do anything. It's matter over mind. You got the wings. You're trying to use echolocation, throwing things out, trying to get signs in. You just can't get it. That's where you go after the Fool. So don't worry about that. Allow yourself to just be in that lost energy. Allow yourself to be in that lost zone. Ask people for help. What was I reading about? Oh, this isn't a reading. I was just breaking down the cards. We just breaking down the truth of it. Yeah, exactly. There's no stupid question if you're seeking understanding. I'm doing donation-based readings right now. If you're able to donate, I definitely can. If not, I can do a reading for you at a later time when I'm doing free readings. But for now, I am doing donation-only readings. Just because of how YouTube has been very much against my agenda. But yeah, I love breaking down these cards, dude. There's so much stuff in them. It's bizarre. I don't know. And that's kind of why, that's why really I don't care why people, if people think I'm like arrogant about knowing this shit. Because you can put me in front of anyone. I fucking break down this card better than anyone else could. Well, not really, because, you know, there's my mentor and then the people who he's already taught that know this shit way more than me, obviously. And there's people that have took that path secretly without being as open as I have been with it, that know probably more, because I know I have people up in here who know about tarot, and they come in here and check up on me and see how I'm doing and see how I'm learning, which I love because it keeps me up to date. So it's very appreciative, excuse me. But I can break these cards down like none other, dude. I've found the formula in a sort of way. How I learned tarot. At first, I did it the way everyone else did, as self-teaching, and by going off of like other readings that they have received, or going off of information that's spread around by people that don't really know what tarot is. I then I found a mentor who began to talk about what tarot was, not just reading the card, but broke down the science of why these cards exist, what tarot is, and why they're in card format. And then I began to see a lot more deeper things in it. I realized that we're just not reading cards for XYZ purposes, there's an actual purpose. So I began to learn what tarot actually was and why tarot cards were invented, and then seeing the knowledge, the wisdom from the life of tarot. And what tarot is, it is a religion, but it's an old religion. It's an old religion. It's the religion that the Egyptians had. They didn't call it a religion because that wasn't a word back then. That wasn't a word until the Romans came in with theirs, right? It was a religion. It was a, you know what I mean? I'm gonna leave it there. I said it just as I needed to. But they called it a way of life, and it works off of the foundations that the Dogon tribes gave us, that the Sumerians tribes gave us, that the Tatarian tribes gave us, working off of astrology, astronomy, numerology, and the God factor in life. They called at that time mystery arcana at that time, because they didn't have the word God. It wasn't invented then. It wasn't a thing. They knew that it was some form of magic. They knew it was some form of external, invisible power, some sort of fire within. So they would call it things as magic or arcana, which is why we have these words, or the mystical or mystic. That's why these words exist, because they're ways of describing God. They're ways of how God is. And that's what they knew it as. And instead of being led by a figure, they were led by knowing that there were two in you, and that it's not just you operating in this world by yourself, but there's two in you. There's a twin, because you argue with yourself. You can tell yourself no, you can tell yourself yes as well. So that's showing that there's two sides of you that's talking, and you're just seeing the middle of it. And tarot teaches you that and shows you that there is more than just worrying about the external factor. There's an internal system that happens. There's an invisible system that happens that then allows to happen. As above, so below, as within, so without, even proves that. As above is the heaven, as below is the earth, as within is the divine, as without is the physical. And that's how we operate on this world. So whatever we want to draw from heaven, we have to put inside of us first. So instead of looking outside of us to draw it, we look inside. We go within. And that allows us to draw without, you know, our quote unquote higher being, which is just a more conscious self, is when we're able to relax and calm down that nervous system, which is why meditation and energy healing and all these things were delved into, and frequency works and bells, so we could calm that nervous system and connect back to the God in us, you know, so we can call on outer beings, we can call on other sources of energy, other sources of power that existed before us, and use that to assist us in our journey of growth. But that's, you know, that's how I learned tarot. I started off on the wrong foot, but, you know, it was part of my destiny to get on the right one. And that's what we teach, and that's what we say, and that's what we do. And it's unfortunate that this art is still lost. It's actually kind of funny that the art is still lost, because, like, you have to think about it. If this joke has been running on since the fucking Roman invasions of Lower Egypt, and like the stealing, the first stealing, not the Knights Templar stealing of the Ark's Covenant, but when Aaron stole the Ark's Covenant and put it on the island after splitting the Red Sea. You have to think, this joke has gone on for so long, and it's so funny how it's still fooling people to this day. Like, damn, they did a good job. Like, really, like, let's go, gypsies. Y'all did it right. The Cometics, the gypsies, they know how to fool people. And the only reason why they knew how to fool people is because they knew who they were. They knew the human body. They know how this human body, this organism works. You know how this works. You can trick anyone. Knowing body language, knowing how the mind works, and reactiveness in that sense is a superpower. Why do you think they teach everyone in the CIA to do that shit? It's a superpower. You can control more with people with body language than anything. You got the Moodras. You got people doing all sorts of power Moodras and shit, grounding you, showing off more energy and shit to boost you up like that. It's a whole thing. Like, once you learn that power, it's like, damn, you have a whole new fighting field. You have a field that some people aren't even aware of. They get intimidated by it. But yeah, it's, you know, it's a lost system. It is a beautiful system though, and I'm just glad that I can have a hand in reviving it. Because I know it's not just me. There's a lot of other people doing it, but for the platform of YouTube, it feels like I feel like I'm in no man's land. I'm still trying to find my. I'm still trying to find my people. We got my, you know, we got a few of them, but I haven't found the crowd that's been waiting. You know, I'm still finding my lambs. I gotta go collect them all. Gotta go collect all my lambs. It's funny. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw a biblical in there, but I had to. But yeah, you know, this is what we're doing. And I love doing it anyway. It's a passion. Like, I don't know. Even though I am definitely cranking down on finances, I'm not doing this for finance, basically. I'm doing this because I genuinely enjoy it, but it is something that does need that sort of reciprocation, as it is like basically my job. It's my whole like criteria of my business, so it's very interesting. No, we're not goats. Don't be saying that. We're not children of Baphomet. We are lambs. I am not a goat. I'm a lamb. I am innocence. I don't got horns. I am not a Baphomet children. A child of the Baphomet. I am a child of the Most High. El Elyon. I am a lamb. I feel that. I mean, I'm already feeling that right now, Jackie. I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of people, like, there's just a lot of people I can't talk to. I've removed myself from people that I actually enjoy talking to, like, out of nowhere. I can't handle certain people, like, when they talk. Um, but, you know, until that point hits, you know, whatever happens, happens. But for right now, my mission is to express and to speak and to teach. Mainly because that's been a huge issue my whole life, and that is kind of just part of my path right now. Um, so it's fun, but eventually I will be going ghost, like probably within the next 40 years or something. I can kind of tell that's gonna happen at some point. Just to get like the final like years in like in solitude and confinement in that sense, but in like a choice of like self-sacrifice or something. I don't know. I feel like that's the path that's gonna happen or go down, but you never know. It could change. And what's my sign? By Western astrology, I'm a Libra. By Vedic, I'm a Sagittarius. So, well, depends on how we want to go about it. I feel that, Christopher. That's kind of like what I'm getting a greater stance on. No, I'm a Leo North Node. So, you know, that explains the whole like bluntness of it. Also because of the Aquarius, but anyway, the whole like fiery leading the passion comes from my North Node, and my South Node is Aquarius. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, it depends on what zodiac you want to go by, dude. There's so many. Hold on. I got the Egyptian zodiac in my book right now. Let me go see what I am by the Egyptian zodiac, because I forgot. Let me go look at this shit real quick. Who am I by the Egyptian zodiac? Let me go fucking find this out. I got all sorts of shit written down, dude. I'm sorry. God dang, where's it at? That's not it. That is a language. That is not it. It is probably... That is the rite of death. Is not gonna be there. That was in my herbalists. God dang, where is October at? October 30th is not it. October Bastet. Apparently, by Egyptian zodiac, I'm Bastet. October 3rd. No, I'm not, because that's 3rd through 17th. Where the fuck is? Never mind. Apparently by a zodiac, Egyptian zodiac, I'm Isis. I'm ruled by Isis in that sense. October 18th through 29th. I don't know what I gotta rewrite that because it's kind of messy. I'm a rabbit by Chinese zodiac. If you need protection from, you know, magic attacks of that sense, I have a video. I have like 2 videos on my channel called Angel Magic Defense that you can look up. Very simple things. It just takes like a few minutes, like 15 minutes to 30 minutes max to do the stuff. And all it requires is your voice. Very effective stuff. You know, people can't get past it. I've done it forever. Even doesn't matter if it's long range or close combat with whatever magic you're going through. That shit will stop it immediately in its tracks. So just be sure to do those if you need, you know, that sort of protection, because it's up there. But definitely, you know, checking out those videos that I have help. And if not, like, even just getting this book, because it comes from this book. And that's the only reason why I uploaded those videos, is because when using these books, there's basically a whole spiritual contract that you make with the people that make these, that say you're not allowed to share materials unless you own the physical copy. So that's the only reason why I share the stuff from this, because I have the physical copy of it. I have PDFs of other things, but I don't use them. I use them for like learning and like experimentation, because I don't have physical copies yet. But that's just to respect the rulings that they've made, and also to respect the time, the energy, and rituals that they've done to get the information of these. Because, you know, it's all about keeping that respect pure and clean. It's the same thing as like Reiki or like any sort of energy healing, you know, making sure that it stays connected, making sure that it stays pure in that sense is very good and very important. Oh, couldn't see top. My bad. I got you. I did kind of wave it around. I think I have the whole thing in. I'm just making sure so you can see it. But basically there are three rituals that you, well, three invocations. There are three works that you have to do before doing any of the rituals, because it protects you. It banishes any sort of ill energy, ill intent, entity around the area. It's not a scam. I don't know why you're saying it's a scam. You don't even know what I'm doing. And then the illumination keeps you visible to the beings that you are wanting to call upon, and then you have the rest of the things that you can do after that. It's very versatile, very, very easy. You asked? No, you didn't. Oh, it's a scam. No, it's not a scam. My bad. I read that wrong. That's my bad. My eyes glanced over too quick. My apologies on that. That's all on me. Hands up. And it's not a scam. Nah, this is not a scam. I don't scam people. I am. I'm here fighting. I'm here fighting. Oh shit. See, that might have messed it up too. You never know, man. Eyeballs are crazy sometimes, But no, this is not a scam. I'm up here teaching people stuff to keep them away from being scammed. You know what I mean? I'm doing the opposite. What are the benefits? The benefits of the angelic protection magic or tarot? Could you get a little more specific with that? And I got you. Yes, the protection magic. No, the protection magic isn't a scam. What it works off of, here, I'll even show you something about it. What it operates off and uses is a lot of, not only of the Kabbalist angels, but it uses a lot of the callings of God. So it uses a lot of things of God's actual names, the pronunciations of that in that sense. It also uses a lot of sigil work and a lot of work to ingrain things within the subconscious mind. If you didn't know, all magic is, at the end of the day, is your brain. It is just your mind controlling things. And what this book does is it teaches you how to let images like this, like the Hebrew words of that, to ingrain within the mind, to now have that overstanding, to have that sort of protection. So it's not a scam. It works off of actual scientific things. The subconscious mind can soak things in. And when you believe that you are under pressure or unable to get past someone else's force, it's because there's a wiring within your subconscious mind that's making them seem more powerful than you. No one's more powerful than anyone else. We're all made equal. The only thing unequal about us is the flesh, but that doesn't matter. And it works off of that. Sigils, like things like this sigil here, it all works off of just subconscious programming in that sense. It allows you to know, it tells you what the intentions are, it tells you what you need to think of, the mindset, what you need to do to invoke the things, bringing up the feelings of removing curses, bringing up the feeling of trying to freeze a curse, bringing up the feeling to keep violent energy from getting towards you. It brings up those feelings inside of you that you think about, that you then, let this image and the making of this image and the reasoning of it, soak into the subconscious mind so it can't affect in that sense. It's the same practice as meditation for mindfulness. It's the same practice as using yoga for balance in that sense. It's the same thing as using Tai Chi for energy control. It's all about practicing that and working out that muscle, so it becomes stronger and stronger against the things that are opposing it. It takes practice. It takes time and effort. So it might not work off bat immediately, but if you are determined in your mindset and you are within your whole body is saying, I want something to end, I desire for this to end, doing things like that does work, because it reinstates that mindset of, I want to block this out, I don't want this in my energy, I don't want this affecting me. And when that boundary is reinstated harder and more, it becomes harder for those things to affect you in that sense. You begin to see things in different viewpoints. You begin to see you begin to overstand instead of understand. You know what I mean? So it's not that it's fake. It's just that people don't describe how it works. People don't quite tell you that magic is all mental. and that it has nothing to do with a spiritual power. In fact, if you're using an entity to do anything with magic work, it's not you doing it. You're giving that entity instructions to do with it what it will do with your intent. And based off your intent, if it changes later, it will change its intent too, because it's connected to you. People don't understand that, which is why a lot of people get fucked up with magic, because they're not really seeing that they are the source. You are the battery. And if you charge yourself up with, you know, with what you're desiring, then what you want is going to output. What you want is going to be not only resonant internal but external. And if you, you know, charge yourself with things that you don't want, it then begins to corrode the inside. It becomes too acidic, which, funnily enough, when your stomach gets too acidic, your brain starts to go crazy, and it creates a lot of emotions. It creates a bunch of thoughts that cause you to go override. Battling anxiety is just lowering down your stomach acid levels, really fixing your pH level. You know, but it all goes down to that. It's not as spiritual as people think. It's what we call metaphysics, as it's physical. It's with the realm of physics, but it's beyond that. And that's the point that we have to look at. Magic is not spiritual, it's metaphysics, it's chemistry, it's science. It's not this made up thing, but it's talked about as it is. It's talked about as it's a mystical thing that only certain people have access to. Whenever, if I do this, that's magic in its sense. That's me manifesting it to change shape and change form. I'm doing it right now. You know what I mean? It's not that difficult, but it's also, you know, people don't think about things as simple as that. Well, yeah, you know, protection magic really is real. You just need to find someone who's actually going to explain it to you that knows what it is. Because most people are built off of, oh, it's secret. Don't say this. Don't say that. It don't, like, don't tell them how to do this. Don't tell them how to do that. No, they don't. The reason why it's secret because they don't fucking know. The reason why it's a secret because they don't know anything. They're just going off what their great grandma said because their great grandma fucking hid the actual truth of it because they don't want anyone going out running around hurting people. So they gave their great great grandbabies the dumb shit to go, you know, handle themselves with. And like, you don't get hurt, but go have fun type shit. The elders don't tell none of these youth the fucking truth, dude. And I understand why. Some of these kids are fucking crazy. I'm in a hoodoo group on Facebook just to be in it, you know, just to get knowledge. And every like 2 or 3 days, I don't care about the repercussions. I want to hurt so and so. And everyone in the comments is like, you need to go get help. You need to just shut up and go do something else. Magic is not for you. Because listen, when people know what magic is and know how to use it, it's not played around like that. The people going around throwing shit at people are babies. Like, glamour them. Think of them as children because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're going around trying it on people because they're not aware of what it actually is. Just let them be. You know, they're innocent. They're learning how to do shit. Let them have that fun because they're going to get punished by it. It don't matter what they get on the physical. Their inside is corroding and falling apart. You don't mess around with certain things. You know? Certain entities will give you what you want, like the blessings and the rewards that you want, just to watch you fall 10 times harder, dude. We have trickster spirits here. Just as a person could do it, a spirit could do it 10 times worse and 10 times better too. Let me tell you. Like, but you know, it's just people don't know these things. You gotta know them, and when you know what it is, it's like, oh, well, then I'm no longer affected by it. If it's mental, then that means I have to accept it in some sort of way. I have to agree to it. And if I don't agree to it, then it doesn't have an effect over me. But you got to build that defense up first, you know? You got to take time to do these things. And it's all about psychic defense, defending your psyche, your mind. That's what the whole thing's about. That's why the government's there. The government wants control over your mind. They want to govern your mind. The mental plane, the mint. Hello, that's what it is, right? But that's what we're dealing with, is the mental warfare all day long. Everything that you see is calculated, digested, and output through this brain that we have here. Everything is mental. And if you can just understand that, realize it, and live in that realm and see the controlling out inputs and outputs of it, you will be way more fine. But it's about people needing to talk about it, which is what I try to do a lot. Not only with tarot, but with a lot of other things as well. So it's, you know, it's a lot easier, but just people don't know what they're talking about. There's so much confusion out here. There is just a lot of confusion. And welcome in, Elizabeth. How we doing? But yeah, I don't know. And then you have everyone saying, "Oh, I know all this, I know all that," but they don't talk about anything. I don't know. Okay. Am I feeling better today? Yeah, I'm doing good. My tummy hurts, but that's because I didn't eat breakfast, and I've been eating breakfast usually for like, well, for the past like few days. I've been going down to the lobby and getting it. But I woke up early, decided to stream, because I feel good enough to, so I decided to. And yeah, that's just kind of why I'm here. It's 9:30, so the breakfast is closed, but I'll be fine. I got stuff. I can just go down there and be like, "Can I steal an apple?" Because they like me. Like I can just go down there and steal food. So they don't care. I just gotta ask. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. I cannot complain. God, what is? Ugh. Ow. Well, that hurt. I think I have like a dried boogie in my nose because I've been like getting detoxing of mucus, dude. Let me tell you that. God dang. Has anyone else just been like detoxing all the mucus in their body recently? Because I have. That's not fun. Like, dude, it was neti pot. I wish, dude. I love neti pots. Oh my god. I remember. I was like 10 years old. First time I ever used one, I got addicted. I was like, there's no way that this is a real invention. Like, I didn't realize it at first. Like, I didn't quite get that each nasal cavity was like literally connected and then split down. Like, I didn't know that at first. So when I poured water up one nostril and it came out the other, I was like, what the fuck? Like, that like really amazed me, and I was like, wow. So I had like a whole experience with it. I didn't do it for fun, luckily, because that would have like damaged my nostril. But like, anytime that I was like congested, neti pot. I didn't care. Vicks rubs could go like after. I want neti pot. I want to get that shit out because it works. So, but then like after a while, like after learning about the lymphatic system and how that works, it made a lot more sense because it's literally like the things here, they're literally right there, they're literally up here, they're literally up in there in your stomach, like fucking in your traps and all sorts of shit. So I haven't used floral water to wash out my eyes, but I probably need to. I need to degunk my eyes for sure because I'm blind as a fucking bat, dude. I really am. I just don't want to wear glasses. I don't like wearing glasses. And my glasses got broke 3 years ago, and I was lied to by like multiple people who said they were gonna help me fix my glasses. So I just said, fuck it, I'll go blind. And my eyes have slowly been adjusting. Yeah, I don't like glasses. I don't look good in glasses, honestly. Whenever I stopped wearing glasses, I like, it's not that I like, well, my confidence did get boosted more, but I liked the way I looked more without glasses. And I'm not gonna get contacts because I'm gonna be transparent. I am not responsible enough to wear contacts. I would fall asleep in them and I would fuck up myself. And I don't want to get laser eye surgery because I'm not that desperate to fucking see. I'm fine. I can see enough. Like, so, you know. I just do what I do. You know, give me the herbal remedies. Give me the herbs to fix the eyes. Give me the homemade eye drops with like the honey and shit to put in them, and I'll do it that way. Fuck it. I mean, I can't drive anyway. I got Petamol seizures that prevent me from driving, so I can't really complain. Yeah, I don't need these anyway, dude. I just need this. If I can keep this thing nurtured and like full of water and like wisdom, I'm fine. I don't need these things. These things ain't gonna do fucking shit. You know, I see way more with this and with this and with this than these fucking two things. Let me tell you. I'd rather walk everywhere, like bike anywhere anyway. So, like, I don't even care that I can't drive. It's not even an issue. If I need to go somewhere, I get a taxi. If I can find someone to pick me up, I pay for gas money. If I had a bicycle, I'd be fucking up and down. If I, you know, I walk at the. If I don't want to spend money, I walk. Like that's what I've been doing a lot. Like I walked. I'm like, how much of it's like a 15-minute walk, 30-minute walk. No, it's not. It's an hour walk. It's an hour full on walk to get into like town from where I'm at. I've walked there like multiple times. I walked to a part of town. I walked like outside of the town. Like I took like a 4-hour walk. It took me 2 hours to get to like a gas station to get like a specific like drink that I was wanting. I didn't want to DoorDash it, so I fucking walked all the way. I walked all the way over there, and then walked back. So like I don't care to walk, dude. I used to be in cross country, so in track and stuff. So walking and stuff is fun for me. No, I know that, Anita. Don't worry. Do not worry. I don't care. You know, I don't think like that. People can say as they wish. You know, that is your visual of me. I'm not gonna feel a way about it. You know, I'll let you feel the way you need to feel, truly and fully. Yeah, I channel a lot during long walks too. I figured out a lot during that walk, a lot, and I didn't quite get it. I kind of had to walk back into an old part of the town where I was at last in my old hotel. That's where I had to walk to, and I had a lot of nostalgia. I had a lot of like old memories. I talked to a tree. I made friends with a tree there, and they remembered me, and it made me cry. So I sat there and talked to them for a minute. Because when I got there, I just heard my name yelled out, and I was like, I looked immediately at the tree, and I was like, no way, you fucking remembered me. And I hung out. I gave that tree like $5 in quarters, by the way, when I was there. I like really made good friends with it. I cleaned up around the tree, like it had like a bunch of like glass and other shit around it. I picked up all that. I gave it like $5 in quarters, and I talked to it. I like hugged it. I vented to it. You know, I let it talk to me. And it definitely remembered me. I was very happy. And I made friends with another tree over here as well. I try to do that wherever I go, is at least talk to a tree and befriend them so I can, you know, my roots will be connected wherever, and like, you know, trees talk to each other. So that tree over there already has been talking to the tree over here about me, obviously. It's just how they are, right? So that's been fun. But yeah, here soon I do need to get off stream and then handle a few things. I may be back later, and if not, I'll be fine. I'm just probably gonna take a rest, but regardless, I'm still technically, I'm not really supposed to be here. Not like here, but like on the live, because I'm supposed to be resting. But I got called to stream yesterday, and then I woke up and was just, I took a really good cleansing shower and was like, you know what, I might as well just stream, because I felt like I had to say something, and obviously I did, because I've been yapping for 2 fucking hours straight. So I had a lot to say. Whatever message was coming to me in yesterday's 4-hour stream came out in today's 2-hour stream, basically. So I'm glad that I got all that configured and sent out. But yeah. And yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Dude, I was really tore up. But I pushed through a lot, and I didn't need to. It was more of me like feeling like I was letting people down. So I really had to like stop myself and you know, check that part of me again. Because I'm not letting anyone down. I'm doing what I need to do. And it's perfectly fine for me to like rest. Like, I don't know. Being a workaholic is funny sometimes. So I grounded myself on that. But yeah, like I'm doing a lot good. I'm doing a lot better. Ooh, dang. Hopefully you sleep well for that. And good luck when you go into work. I'll be back soon, don't you worry. I'll always be here in some shape or form, you know. But yeah, I had a rest. I took like, I think a week off, 6, 7, 8 days, I think, total. So I felt really good. I don't remember how many days. I feel like it might have been shorter than that. I really don't know. The days really started to blend in together because I slept for a whole day, and then I slept for like half a day. So I don't really know like what was going on. But yeah, I'm definitely making sure that I'm taking rest when I need to. Cause But yeah, regardless, I probably am gonna hop off now. I don't feel like I feel like I've talked plenty. I feel like I got everything I needed to. Unless anyone else has a question, or wants to donate for a reading, I'll probably be heading out. Oh, I'll give it like, what does that say? 5? Yeah, I'll give it 5 minutes. I usually give it 5 minutes. It's really 75. So I'll chill around for 5 more minutes. If anyone has anything else, you know, let me know. And if not, I'll just chill here for 5 minutes and bounce out. But everyone who's gonna, you know, pop out, take care. Truly, it was a blessing having you here. I appreciate you for stopping by. The topics that we talked about, the energy, the love. I truly appreciate all of it, and it's truly accepted it wholeheartedly and fully. So I appreciate every one of you for stopping by. And sending so much love to all you all as well. And yeah, I that's what I like to do, is just kind of chill out and wait. You know, we that's usually how the streams go. We get to like the big breaking point. We talk about deep shit for like hours, and then we just kind of relax. But yeah, it's good. It's a good meditative like thing or practice, just to take a while to like simmer on everything that's been talked about. But yeah, I love what I do. I truly do. Like it is most definitely a passion. I can't stop talking about it. Like that's how much of a passion. I can't shut the fuck up about it. So you know it's a passion, you know? Not that it's a bad thing, but I just have to say that. I'm Appalachian. I have to say it that way, you know? So yeah. The Appalachian in me has to say at least one cuss word. It has to. Like, you can't blame me. I was raised in the mountains. Same, dude. Some people's passion turns into aggression, and it gets very scary. I was teetering that line, so I know how scary it can be. But that's whenever your passion's being overfueled, when you're too fired up. You know, and that usually happens when you're first discovering things as well. When that fire first is born, it gets a little crazy and you start going all over the place. But more eventually, more and more people will start using their passion more constructively. You know, we just need more people kind of setting the. Yeah, we all had it. We all had to get tempted like that. That's just the thing. Like you can't just have the feeling of passion. You know, the fire that like warms you. You can't have that sensation without actually getting burned by it first. You have to learn how to control that fire. Um, that's like the biggest thing. You have to learn how to like, you know, be grounded in it, not let that fire, you know, control you and send you out sporadically, but really just sit there and ground it, you know, because that fire can destroy just as it's just that fire can create a beacon of light. It can destroy and burn down a whole village. So you got to be very careful. It is the same force that will bring life is the same force that will bring death. There is no difference in it. One will bring the other. It will follow, and they stick together. It's a dance. Yeah, you have to walk through the fire. It's not fun. It sucks. But it's for the best. It helps. You know, it's the alchemy of the body. It's what we go through. The awakening, the enlightenment journey, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's the phoenixing of yourself, the shedding of the old skins. You know, everyone talks about it in many different ways. It's the Christ consciousness. It's the awakening of the Shiva inside of you. However, you just gotta say it the way you gotta say it. It's all there. And they all teach the same message. Stop being mean. Stop being mean. That's all it is. Stop it. Not just stop being mean to others. Stop being mean to yourself. Just quit. There's no need to be mean to yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Everyone's learning. I have yet to see a baby hop out the womb and start like dancing and walking and running and lifting weights and shit and cutting. Like until I see a baby cut their own umbilical cord by themselves, like with scissors and everything, like hop up, walk over to a table, get it cut out. We're still learning some shit because they, dude, spend some time watching a baby learn how to walk. It's gonna humble you. That's what you're doing every day. You're just training your muscles. That's why they do all those squats and shit. They're not acting stupid or trying to goof off. They're building their leg muscles, man. Something inside of them's like, hey, you can't walk, so just do this. Okay, I'll do this, and then they start doing it, and they're like, oh, now I can walk. That's why they get the crawling and all that stuff. You know, you got to do it. Like it teaches you. It really puts you back at the innocence. If you have issues doing anything in life, watch babies struggle to do simple tasks that you know how to do now. Watch babies struggle to eat. Watch babies struggle to communicate and talk. It's going to put you back in that mindset of, damn, I came from that, so I need to stop putting so much pressure on myself because I'm literally that same being still. I'm still learning. Just because my bones elongated and my flesh like grew with it does not mean that I'm not still that tiny child right there. I'm still doing the same shit that they're doing. I'm not more advanced than that. In fact, we're on the same fucking level. I can learn a thing or two from that child, from that baby that can't even fucking speak or talk or eat properly by itself. You know what I mean? Like I can learn a shit ton from that baby, but not a lot of people take that mindset in. And when people do, it's gonna start changing shit. It's been over 5 minutes. I don't care though. I've been yapping again. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna take my break. I'm gonna take my rest. I'm gonna get my things settled out, figured out. And I will, if I'm back later, you'll see me. I'll announce it for sure. I'll announce it only if I'm gonna be live, and I'll announce around the time that I'll be live. If I don't make an announcement, you might see me tomorrow. You might not. We'll find out, right? It's a surprise. whenever I feel energized and able to do so, I will be here to do what I gotta do. But other than that, I gotta go rest and do my other shit. But regardless, I love each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all the support, all the donations, the topics that we talked about, and everything. If you're interested in anything, everything's within the description. Oh, I'm hydrating. Trust me, I got my hydration here. We're good. But if you're needing anything like, needing the donation links are in the description, my email's in the description, as well as my website for things if you're wanting like to look at the website, that's also in there. I have the Spirit Otter affiliate link that's in the description as well, and like Dr. Malachi's York books as well. But all the information in the description if you need it. I appreciate everyone here. But I love each and every one of you all, to the moon and back tenfold.